It's a beautiful day for baseball. Hello again, everybody. Harry Caray at Comiskey Park at Shriners Day. And our guest on the pregame show, one of the finest young pitchers in all of baseball, Britt Burns of the Chicago White Sox. Boy, you had a field terrific last night.
Yeah, I felt really good, Harry. I went into the pen to warm up, and I realized, I was going to have pretty good stuff tonight, or last night rather. And I went out in the first couple of innings, and I thought I might have left it in the pen, but things started working out for me, and I started feeling real good, and just glad to be able to pitch as well as I did last night.
With your first major league shutout.
Yeah. Well, I was aware of the fact that I had a no-hitter going, and certainly I'm not going to lie about it. I would have, I'd like to have gotten a no-hitter, not so much for myself, but for the White Sox, and I was just, I was a little disappointed it didn't work out that way, but I'm glad that we won. That's the most important thing.
One thing about it, there was no doubt about the hit. If it had been a scratch, you might have second-guessed yourself. But Roberts hit the ball well.
Yeah, he hit the ball well. It was a fastball high out over the plate, and he got good wood on the ball. I was only going with 2 pitches mostly last night, a fastball and a slider, so I wasn't really surprised that sooner or later they were going to get a hit.
It looked like the third hit off of you was a double to left. Must have been on a change.
Yeah, it was a change. I got it up a little bit. I talked to Schuler about it. He said that I slowed up on my motion and really gave it away, so he was on the pitch real good.
We're talking with Britt Burns, and we'll be back for more following this. Harry Caray back at Comiskey Park at Shriners Day, as you can tell. Our guest is Britt Burns, the fine young left-hander. Britt, as you mentioned, you did it with 2 pitches last night, mostly fastball and slider. Is it a safe assumption to say that your weakest pitch right now is your changeup?
Well, my changeup is one of my better pitches. I really didn't need it last night. The slider was working well for me. Actually, my weakest pitch has always been the curveball and still is.
The curveball, I guess that's something you got to be careful of, because you got a good slider, and very few guys can throw a good slider and a good curveball.
That's what I hear, and I think it's true. I will throw a curveball every now and then, but I'll try not to throw it in the strike zone, because it really isn't that consistent. Every now and then I can throw a good one, but not consistently. So I try to stay away from it as much as I can.
20 years old, Britt, the world is your oyster.
Well, it's a good feeling. Things are going good, and right now is the time when I really have to work hard and maintain that consistency that I've been able to do so far.
I would imagine at this time in your development, and you're even going to get better than you are, and probably people are laughing, how in the world can you get much better than a 3-hit shutout in the major leagues, right?
Yeah, well, I'd like to be able to do some things like, maybe pitching a no-hitter here. I think as far as a personal goal, I would like to pitch that perfect game. But if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be disappointed. I'm just happy to be here and do what I can for the White Sox.
What I started to develop as a question as a young pitcher, are you inclined to look at what other guys are throwing and say to yourself while you're limbering up in the bullpen, hey, I'm going to try to throw that?
I like to watch Ron Guidry throw. He and I throw, pretty much alike. We both throw over the top. He throws the overhand slider, I throw the overhand slider, and they do similar things. So, other than that, I really don't, watch that much of anybody else. I just try to, stay with in my own mechanics and do what I know that I can do.
How about turning the ball over?
Not at all. Not at all.
You see a lot of left-hand pitchers, but I imagine a guy young who can throw as hard as you do, it would be criminal to take a chance on maybe hurting his arm throwing an unnatural pitch.
Well, maybe someday when the fastball dies, I may need to do that. But right now, the fastball is going good for me, and of course the slider, and it's really something I don't need, and I don't want to fool with at this point.
Britt, pitches that you see other guys throw, I guess you're smart enough to know the reason they throw pitches is that maybe you don't throw is because it's natural for them to throw it.
Yeah, it could be. My natural pitch, I guess, is a fastball. I've always thrown a fastball. I've always had a pretty good fastball. And with the development of the slider, it just makes it that much easier to throw the fastball. And right now, I really only need those two pitches and, the changeup every now and then. If the slider's not working for me, as it hasn't been before last night's outing, I go to changeup more. But, last night I had the slider. So, if I can get two pitches working well for me, that's really all I'll need, for most of the time.
Are we going to see you again before the strike?
I don't think so. I was due to throw Thursday, but that's our off day. We travel to Seattle, and if we don't go on strike, I think I'm supposed to pitch Friday in Seattle.
Britt, congratulations on a great performance, and thanks so much for being our guest.
Thank you, Harry.
Okay, buddy. Britt Burns, a fine young left-hander of the Chicago White Sox, has been our guest. It's a very warm afternoon for baseball. We're going to have a fine gathering. It must be 20,000 little leaguers are here. They put on a very interesting exhibition before the game. Jimmy Piersall is all set now with the starting lineups. This is Harry Caray down on the field, inviting you to stay with us for exciting Chicago White Sox baseball. So long, everybody. Guests on the pregame show will receive a Baum and Mercier men's dress watch, courtesy of Henry K. Jewelers, who are located at 547 North Michigan Avenue and on the third level of Water Tower Place.
Hi, everybody. Jimmy Piersall back at Comiskey Park. The outfielders and the infielders are warming out in the outfield because the Shriners are performing here. This is the final game of this three-game series. The White Sox have won one and lost one. Monday, Minnesota comes in for Tuesday and Wednesday, so that'll be a good three-game series. I would like to say to all the fans who have been so nice to me in regards to what has been going on in one of the papers here in town, I appreciate it very, very much. I would like to say that I'll always be Jimmy Piersall no matter what anybody else will tell me, because that's the way I've been. I don't please everybody, but I do my best to report to the fans who are listening what I see. I never deliberately would do anything to hurt a ball player. I love ball players. I love baseball. I certainly report only what I see, and to me that's the most important part when you're reporting to a baseball fan, especially here in Chicago, where you people know more about the game than some of the people that report it. The starting lineup for the Seattle Mariners, it'll be Julio Cruz leading it off. He'll be at second base. Batting second, playing shortstop, Jim Anderson. Batting third, Dan Myers. He'll be the designated hitter. In right field, batting fourth, Leon Roberts. Bruce Botke is at first base. Joe Simpson will be in center field. At third base, Bill Stein, and I'm happy to report that the injury to Ted Cox is not as serious as they thought it might be. He strained his shoulder muscles, and he'll be out for a few days, but that's good news. Rodney Craig will be in left field. Bob Stinson will be behind the plate. Boy, and he's hit a couple of grand salamis against us the last couple of years. And on the mound, Bob Dressler. For the White Sox, Bobby Molinaro will lead it off. He'll be the DH. Claudell Washington will be in left field. Batting third in center field, Chet Lemon. Lamar Johnson will be at first base. Batting fifth in right field will be Harold Baines. Jim Morrison will be at second base. Junior Moore at third. Behind the plate, it'll be Bruce Kim. At shortstop, Greg Pryor. And on the mound, Francisco Barrios. And I'll be right back to talk about the pitchers right after this message. Francisco Barrios, who stands 6'3", weighs 195 pounds, 26 years old, pitched 4 innings against Milwaukee last week and did a pretty good job for 3, and then all of a sudden in the 4th inning, he stopped throwing his fastball, he told me, and they hit 3 home runs on change of speed pitches. Last year he was 8-3, and then in September he had an arm operation, and believe me, he has worked hard to get it back to normal movement again. Weights, a lot of running, hard throwing as much as he can, working with Herm Schneider, the trainer for the ball club. You just can't believe how far he's come. In fact, I think he's 6 months ahead of his normal time to be back. Fastball, curveball, slider, change of speeds, and as he said, he's got to throw that fastball a little bit more and hopes to throw it at least by 85 miles an hour. But with that kind of an operation, he has performed almost a miracle. For the Seattle Mariners, Bob Dressler has a record of 0-2 with an ERA of 4.38. He's 6'3", 195 pounds. He also is 26 years old. No record against the White Sox last year. He formerly was with the San Francisco Giants. He signed with them. Then he went to St. Louis. He was acquired June of 1979 by the Mariners. Pitched mostly in relief in 1979. He was in about 21 games. Fastball, slider, sinker. To be right, his fastball has got to move. He is not overpowering. So for the White Sox, it'll be Francisco Barrios on the mound. Behind the plate, it'll be Bruce Kim. For the Mariners, it'll be Dressler on the mound. Behind the plate, Bob Stinson. We'll be right back here on Shrine Day with play-by-play action and Harry Caray right after these messages.
On Deck has been brought to you by Home and Auto Insurance. For car, motorcycle, home, or liability insurance, ask your independent broker to compare H&A rates and coverage today.
This is WSNS TV 44 in Chicago.
A TV 44 sports presentation. White Sox are brought to you by the following participating advertisers. Schlitz, the one beer brewed for men who've tasted gusto and know there'll never be a better beer than Schlitz. Go for it. Chevrolet and your local Chevy dealers. If you're looking for the right car or truck right now, Chevy's got it. Just come and get it. True Value Hardware Stores. True Value. More than just a name, it's our way of doing business. Commonwealth Edison, providing you the power to grow. The Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Chicago will remind you to have a Coke and a smile and enjoy Chicago White Sox baseball. Interlake Incorporated, a Chicago-based company in metals and material handling, sponsoring White Sox baseball for 8 consecutive years. Rusty Jones and the over 2,500 new car dealers who offer Rusty Jones rust-proofing nationwide. Hello, Rusty Jones. Goodbye, Rusty Cars. Zenith System 3 Color TV with Computer Space Command remote control. See your Zenith dealer for a demonstration. And by the Association of Chicagoland McDonald's Restaurants. Nobody can do it like McDonald's can.
I just got it. It's a new Chevy Chevette. The lowest price 4-door hatchback built in America with lots of standard features and great mileage. You don't need a foreign car to get all that. And right now, they're building more small Chevys than ever. So it was easy to get what I wanted. A lot of car for the money. Yep, Chevy Chevette's got it.
Hi, Mom.
Now we've got it.
Your Chevy's got it. Just come and get it. Get a brand new Chevrolet.
You know how much these things cost?
Well, they're not expensive.
Well, they're not cheap either.
They're free. That's right. Now you can get a Quicksilver Flare pen at McDonald's.
The ink kind of flows onto the paper.
I don't know how they can afford to give them away.
Buy a new chopped beefsteak, Big Mac, Quarter Pounder with or without cheese, or filet of fish sandwich between 4 and 9 p.m., and we'll give you a free Quicksilver Flare pen.
Now that's what I call a pretty good deal.
That's what McDonald's calls dinner with a flair.
It is warm in Chicago. That's good news in itself. Hello again, everybody. This is Harry Caray with Jimmy Piersall. The third final and rubber game of the series. Francisco Barrios will be on the hill against Rob Dressler. And boy, if we have pitching like we had last night, everybody's in for a treat. How about all these little leaguers who are here?
Well, I love to see it, Harry. And the way they were hitting the ball, one youngster hit the ball about 250 feet out there, made me kind of excited. But you know, warm weather today. Last week in Milwaukee, Barrios warmed up and it was cold. Maybe he might be a little better today because the fastball is what he's got to come up with. His breaking stuff we know is good. His change of speeds, he knows how to pitch. It's just a matter of getting that fastball over with something on it.
Did you hear Brett Burns by any chance on the pregame show? Here's a kid only 20 years old. Listening to him talk about pitching. Now, here he is. He's just a baby. But he knows what he's doing and what he's trying to do.
Well, he was well coached as a youngster because you can tell by listening to him and watch the way he walks to that mound. When we first saw him, it was only the fact that he had a lot of baby fat on him, that he wasn't able to pitch then. He has learned how to pitch. He knows what he's doing. He's coachable, and that's very important, too.
All right, the umpires are talking things over. Darrell Johnson, the manager of Seattle, along with Bobby Winkles, who's the coach for the White Sox, representing their manager, Tony La Russa. And now the White Sox are taking the field. In this week's Sporting News, quite an entertaining story featuring the White Sox pitchers, and it's entitled The Bad News Bears of Comiskey Park. K-A-M-I-N-S-K-E-Y. Also known as the White Sox of Comiskey Park. They're a ragtag outfit that's living the high life in the American League West. That tells it all. Pictures of people like Orlando Cepeda, Harold Baines, Britt Burns, Tex Wortham, Ross Baumgarten, Ken Kravick, Steve Trout, manager Tony La Russa, Ed Farmer, Chet Lemon, Lamar Johnson, period.
That's a nice story, Harry. One thing about Barrios, he's had some experience. He knows how to pitch. He started in 1971, pitched mostly in the Mexican League. Then in 1973, he came to Phoenix, then Knoxville. And he was with the White Sox part of 74, back to the Mexican League, then back to Denver in 75. In 76, 77, 78, and 79, he compiled a record of 36 wins and 34 losses. And then the arm operation, after a super start last year, Harry and I figured he was going to win 20. He had learned to pitch. He had controlled himself on the mound. He can get a little hot. You know, he's one Mexican young man that does not like to lose. He's a competitor and a hard worker, as you can tell, coming back so quickly from that arm operation. And he'll be out there now facing the Seattle ball club, who will run, who will bunt. They've been plenty tough on all opposition this year.
Yeah, they're playing good baseball, too. Tomorrow night, we're looking forward to having up here in the booth with us a good friend and a fine talent from Channel 7. Rob Weller, who handles the AM Chicago show, I think is going to realize a frustrated and lifetime ambition of working on a baseball telecast here tomorrow night.
Who's that going to be, Harry? Who's that?
Rob Weller.
Rob Weller. I'm going to be on with Lee Phillips at noon tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. I like that better than your.
Oh, well, she is a little prettier, I think.
I would think so. I'm looking forward to that.
Say something nice about me, will you?
Harry, listen. I'm an admirer of hers. See, I'll let her do the talking.
Freddie Brzezowski's mom and dad celebrating their 40th wedding anniversary.
Boy, that's a lot of years, Coach.
Certainly is.
A lot of kielbasa went on that table.
We're ready to play baseball. The first pitch of the ball game. A little bit outside, ball one. Julio Cruz, switch hitter, batting left-handed against Barrios. At Shriners Day, hey, what kind of a play was that? He walked up as if he were going to bunt and then swung at the ball. He was pulling the third baseman in with the idea of bouncing it by him. Pretty tricky thing.
Harry, you watch it. I was looking at something else. Tell him.
Look at this. See how he, now he swings and he misses. Pretty smart effort.
You know what? He's a better right-handed hitter than he is a left-handed hitter, and he also steals more bases right-handed.
Yeah, now that's a phenomenon. Because I always thought you did with your feet. He bunts with 2 strikes. Barrios has got it. Oh, but a first for the out.
Barrios almost fell. Still kind of wet from all the rain we've had. The field has been covered, but the moisture gets underneath in certain spots. So with 2 strikes, he tried to beat out a bunt. That's a good play. You know, all you got to do is get it away from the pitcher.
I like that Cruz. He's a flashy ball player, a crowd pleaser.
And, you know, you saw him last night on a couple of double plays. He's a gutty kid, too. He stays right in on that runner.
1 out. Here's Jim Anderson, the shortstop. First pitch a little bit high. Laurie Dykstra is here with the Lansing, Illinois Little League team. A flock of little leaguers on hand. Ball 2 is high. There you see Bill Mazeroski coaching at third base, Veda Pinson at first base. Both former Major League stars. Ball 3 is high. Ruben Vela is here with his Inland Steel Little League champions. And John Hinton in the skybox celebrating his birthday.
Oh, where's that pitch?
Oh, inside.
Is inside?
Yeah.
Ball 4. I don't want to upset anybody today.
This is the Sabbath, don't say anything.
I'm having a wonderful week.
Well, I voted for you.
Did you vote for me?
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy the paper.
I put one for you and then 5 against you. You're running behind in the clubhouse.
Run off on a duplicating machine. I'm running behind in the clubhouse.
Oh, no. There's a swing foul tip.
Meyer to designated hitter. Roberts, right field. Baki, first base. Simpson.
Danny Meyer with 1 homer, 17 RBIs.
Play third. Craig, the bat 8, play left.
The ground ball to the second baseman. Morrison throws to Pryor for 1. That's all they can get.
Well, you watch this, you young players on this play. If you're a second baseman, Morrison realizing the ball was hit so slowly, he makes sure of a perfect throw to Pryor. Now watch, he turns his body and flips, and Pryor knows he doesn't have a chance, so he doesn't throw on.
Bill Sengstock is here from Fox River Grove with a group. Here's Leon Roberts, who got the first hit in the 7th inning last night on Britt Burns. Slider over the outside corner, a strike call. Shriners Day, John Carlson Jr. Medina Temple sang our national anthem. Boy, he annually does a terrific job. Here's a little tap to the pitcher. Barrios has got it. Easy inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. We're going to the bottom of the first. No score. Harry Caray and Jimmy Piersall. Jimmy, how come all your girlfriends?
Well, why are you starting that? Now you're eating one girlfriend.
Wait a minute. Why can they bake so much better than my wife Dutchie does?
Well, I don't know about that, but I know that Jan really enjoyed making that for you because she admires your hair. Whatever that means, Harry, because I have to watch you comb and it keeps falling out on me. And I got a beautiful jacket on today. Hey, Harry, got a question. Do you know how to keep a turkey in suspense?
How to keep a turkey in suspense?
Yeah.
No.
I'll tell you tomorrow. This kid said this to me.
All right. You're 1 up.
All right.
Here's Bobby Molinaro to lead it off against Rob Dressler.
Boy, Bobby Molinaro is really having himself quite a year. 365.
2 homers and 8 runs batted in. Now, here's how luck goes. You know, when Bobby was up with the White Sox before, there's a strike call. He opened up a pizza place. He thought he'd gonna be here a while. He had a good year. Next thing you know, there he goes back to the minor league, so he's not around. You know what happens when you have absentee ownership. Half swinging foul tips. Now here he is back with the White Sox going better than ever, and he was just saying, man, if I had my pizza place now, it'd be jammed.
Boy, it's a sad story about that pizza joint, what happened to him. You know, it just goes to show you when you're not around to watch your business, don't get in it.
Especially that kind of business.
Yeah. Hey.
Way into center field with 2 strikes and nothing. Bobby Molinaro hit a high fastball.
Boy, he tried to jam him high and in, but Bobby, who is just the type of hitter that doesn't swing hard on 2 strikes, lined it up the middle. Here you'll see it now.
Tommy hawks it.
Look at that. Whop. I'm
Runner
talking
at
about how
first.
he hit it.
Here's Claudel Washington hitting .316. No homers, 10 runs batted in.
I don't want to hear anything from the truck. I think they're eating down there because they're not saying anything.
They're always eating.
Yeah, they're busy with a split feed. All right, never mind.
I told you they're always eating.
That's
It's a
right.
split feed.
That's right.
That means a couple guys eat while the other guys watch. Pitch is high. 1 ball. Who got married? Oh, John Dickinson. Where did all that happen?
New Jersey.
Did you go up for that?
Did they have sunshine there? Gorgeous, yeah.
Here's a throw over to first, the runner back.
No wonder he went to New Jersey just for the weather.
Look at that lead by Molinaro, who's a great base stealer.
This guy's got a very poor move, too, Harry. He does not have a good move.
There he goes. Oh, Claudel.
Got to get back.
He's going to be doubled up now.
Oh.
There's a throw. Save. He got back in time.
He got back.
Boy, Roberts felt that he had more time than it turned out he did.
As I said, Harry, he has a lousy move, and Bobby just stole second and stole first back. There he goes, and Washington concentrating on the ball, doesn't see him go, and here's the fly ball to right field.
That's why.
There you'll see it now. Boy, he really hustled back there.
That's why Maury Wills used to give Junior Gilliam so much credit for his base stealing, because Gilliam would always could evaluate whether he had a good jump, take the pitch, or not have a good jump. He'd swing and foul it off, give him another chance. That second place hitter's important when you got
to be able to take a couple of pitches when you got a good base runner like Bobby on base.
Here's Lemon now. Throw to first, runner back.
If Lemon hits the ball to right field, he'll run forever. Roberts is way over in right center.
Lemon hitting .268. Quick throw over to first, runner back. Molinaro had second base stolen. Was fortunate he got back to first as Washington flied out to short right. In there for a strike call.
New York is leading Texas again. They've beaten them 2 days in a row. They just seem to have their number. They're playing in New York.
Well, we want to welcome all the restaurateurs from all over the country who are convened here in Chicago for the restaurant show. Starts tomorrow. Fastball inside. A ball and a strike.
That's his best pitch, Harry. A hard sinker down. Lemon looking for a sign right now.
Lemon is 1 out of 8 in the series.
Come on, Chet.
Molinaro lead. Lamar Johnson on deck. There's a throw, but there he's back.
Now, the stance that Lemon has against Dressler is the ideal stance against a sinker baller. He's up in front of the box, maybe a little bit too close to the plate, but he gets the ball before it sinks. There you see it.
Again, look out! Got him!
Let's see that again.
Molinaro was picked off first.
Bhakti really talked the umpire in this one about 2 pitches ago.
I think he might have got him. I think Tony La Russa's out there complaining about a balk. 2 men are out now, nobody on.
That's a tough play for us to call. I couldn't really tell him. Could you?
Looked like he might have got Molinaro's arm as he
before his hand hit the bag.
Can't argue when it plays that close.
The play that hurt us was when he's stealing second and we didn't get it.
Boy, Claudel, if you could have just taken 1 pitch. Changes the inning. You got a guy at second base, nobody out. Boy, this guy throws hard, Rob Dressler.
They say he's another one of these 5-inning hard throwers like Beatty. If you look at his record, he has never done much in the big leagues. Started with San Francisco.
There's the hit up the middle. Lemon singles to center. That brings up Lamar Johnson.
Boy, that really hurts when you look down at your scorecard and you see 2 line drives up the middle and there's 2 outs.
Rob Dressler stands 6'3", 25 years old. He won 3, lost 2 last year. So far this year, he's 0-2. Lamar Johnson leads the club in RBIs with 24.
One thing about Lamar, Harry, he is definitely a spurt hitter. When he gets hot, he is hot.
Batting average 291. Harold Baines on deck. Bouncing ball foul.
Did he get the player of the month of April or the player of the week?
Player of the month. Dave Kingman got in the National League. Lamar Johnson got in the American League. Bruce Sutter was runner-up among the pitchers in the National League. Ed Farmer was runner-up among the pitchers in the American League.
Thank you.
Anything else, Coach?
Thank you, Harry. Boy, I want to tell you, you're a
fountain of information.
That's right. Boy, I asked one question, I got a week's work.
Throw to first, the runner back. Yankee run was a homer by Bobby Mercer, his first of the year. The game at Toronto is delayed by fog.
By what? Fog?
Yeah. Ground ball to the shortstop. First play. From Anderson to Cruz. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. At the end of 1, no score. Harry Caray back at the ballpark as we go into the top of the 2nd inning with no score. Who do we have in the skybox today?
Hey, the White Sox would like to welcome in the skybox Lang's Lounge and Restaurant, one of Harry's favorite places. Patio Party, University of Chicago XP-47 Group Bullpen number 2, Home and Auto Insurance, the Corner Saloon, Home and Auto Insurance, and an additional group from Harvard School.
You sounded on Harvard School like the guy who played you in the movie X. Here's Bhakti. The first pitch is in there for a strike call.
Listen, I used to drive by Harvard every day and say that's one school I don't have to
rub
pay.
Off a little bit?
That's one school I don't have to pay taxes to open.
It is a great college.
They own half the country.
A ball and a strike. We had some big league ball players out of Harvard, didn't we?
I played with one. He was a pitcher, but he couldn't throw his diploma up there.
There's a line hit to center field on a broken bat.
Boy, Bhakti leads both leagues for the last 5 years in broken bat hits and dunkers, but they all count.
That's why he hits 300 every year.
This program is owned by WSNS TV through exclusive rights granted by the Chicago White Sox and is telecast solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this play-by-play description and the account of this game without the express written consent of WSNS TV is prohibited.
Simpson fouls off the first pitch. The honorary bat boys today are David Owl and Danny Lang. There's one of the boys.
I think their mothers make their uniforms and they bring them with them. Because God love them, they're so small.
1 strike to nothing. Might be a double play. Haggum out at second base. That's the only out they can get. Simpson can fly.
Well, that ball was hit on the end of the bat, and it just slowed down. The grass is still damp. You know, Harry, I would always be happy that I played on fast infields. Like in Boston, the infield's fast. In L.A., the infield was awfully fast, and so was Washington. But this ballpark always slowed.
Jeff Myers, sports director of KGRC in Hannibal, is here with a party of 4, including his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Lester Myers of Lisle. Bob Hamer is here, celebrating his graduation from Illinois Law School. Stein takes the pitch outside, a pitch out.
I want to welcome Dutchie back in town. Hi, Dutchie.
2 balls, no strikes. Boy, you're working hard to get another vote, aren't you?
Dutchie, walk up and down that Ambassador East and see if you get me some votes. I hear I'm behind.
There's a line drive, center field, base hit. A run around to second base, holding up.
Boy, look how much turf Lemon dug up on that ball when he was running in. Lucky he didn't fall down.
Rodney Craig will be coming up, a switch hitter, batting left-handed, hitting .239.
Well, there's 2 base hits that weren't hit very hard, but just where they belong, in the right spot.
Bob Miller and Del Mettlehauser from Barrington are watching the game. Daisy Merritt and Bob Pritza from the Pals Club in South Chicago. Birthday greetings, number 14 to Mike Gingotti from Winfield. Craig had a cut and he missed. The Sunkowski family of Highland is here with their son Patrick celebrating his 11th birthday.
Craig is a switch hitter, hitting .239 right-handed and .250 left-handed.
Bouncing ball might get 2. Out at second. And out at first for the double play. Pryor made a good play, catching the throw with his bare hand and relaying it on to first base, and Jim Morrison waits for him to shake his hand.
Sensational play. Boy, watch this play now. He fires it. I'll tell you. Boy, whoa.
He got him.
He got him. Yeah, he got him.
Good call.
Good call. We're even.
No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. Going to bottom of the second. I tell you, Barrios looks great. Bottom of the second inning coming up, no score. Harry Caray back at the ballpark. Here's Harold Baines getting a nice hand as he steps to the plate, hitting .294 the first pitch. Swings and he taps it foul for a strike. 1 strike and nothing. You know, when Baines is in the groove, that pitch they hit down the left field line. He hits the ball everywhere.
I'm getting to believe, Harry, that he shows me he's a better hitter with 2 strikes than with no strikes, because he just tries to meet the ball.
The delivery. Swung, and he may have swung at a bad ball.
That may sound kind of stupid to most people, but sometimes a hitter watches the ball closer and uses his hands and wrists more instead of trying to jack it out of here.
2 strikes or nothing. Wide. 2 strikes and a ball. Nobody on, nobody out. Ball game in the second inning. Nothing and nothing. Had a good cut, but he fouled it off.
Steve Trout is warming up. It looks like he will go in when Barrios throws about 70 pitches, no matter how long it takes.
I hope it'll be 5 innings, and Barrios will have the lead, so he can pick up his first victory. It would really help him. The pitch. Swung on, a long drive, way back, might be out of here, off the wall. Here's Baines around second, racing for third. Look at him go. There's that 2 strike. 2 strikes and a ball.
Yes, he's a much better hitter. This ball's a little bit up now. Boy, he hits it. The center fielder, Simpson, running a mile. Roberts playing over that way, but they are afraid it's going to hit the top of the wall, and look at him go. Harry, if he would chase fly balls like he runs those bases, he would not miss many fly balls.
Well, there's a chance to break out in front as Harold Baines opens up with a triple off the bullpen 2 wall. His first major league triple. Big deal. He'll only have 1 million of them before he's through.
And one thing I know, he's going to hit.
Well, all right, if it's a first major league home run.
The guy in there that just said that wouldn't have a job if he didn't have just the thing.
Now the stretch.
Infield back.
There's a drive way back. Gonna be caught, maybe. Simpson, a great catch. And Baines will walk in after the catch. Far Morrison, fly deep to Simpson. 1-0 White Sox.
Boy, this ball is up again, and watch how he rips it. Right on the butt. Simpson, a left-handed outfielder. If he was right-handed, I don't think he'd have caught this ball now. He looks at the wall, and he picks it up going away. But you see him look that ball into the glove, and that's what Baines has got to do. Look the ball into the glove.
Ron Jackson just hit a homer with a man on from Minnesota. They're out in front. There's a strike call to Junior Moore.
Hey,
hitting 288.
Minnesota comes in here tomorrow night.
3 night games in a row. And then East Lynn. The strike. 1 strike to nothing. Strike on the outside corner. Good slider.
Are you going to work on the cleanup crew down at Rush Street?
I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something.
Hey, if you enjoy World Doubles Championship Tennis, today they play on Channel 44 right here at 5 o'clock.
I want to read you some ridiculous things.
I've been reading something ridiculous all day.
Speaking for their 2 leagues and the 26 Major League Baseball clubs, Lee McPhail, president of the American League, and Charles Feeney, president of the National League, declared today that there is no factual reason for the players to go on strike as they have threatened.
Oh.
Fouled it back.
Are they afraid they're going to get fired?
Instead of worrying about the public relations with the fans, I wish they would concentrate on the problem at hand and try to get it resolved.
I think the commissioner of baseball should force them to go back to play and settle this thing.
Easy roller to the second baseman, Cruz. Over to first, easy out.
He made some decisions on so many people in baseball in the last 2 years. Why not that one?
They want us to read all this. It says, following release should be distributed to all of your club's media contacts and otherwise disseminated as your club feels is appropriate.
That looks awful boring.
It's awfully long, too.
They never condense anything.
Read this, and it reminds me of my divorce.
I have a prenuptial arrangement that doesn't read that long.
There's a bouncing ball. Nice play by the shortstop. Anderson throws out Bruce Kemp. But 1 run on a leadoff triple by Harold Baines. A sacrifice fly by Morris. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. At the end of 2, the White Sox are out in front, 1-0. Harry Caray and Jimmy Piersall as we go now into the top of the 3rd. Well, California, Kansas City scored 1 in the bottom of the 9th and 1 in the 10th to beat California last night. They had a rain delay of 1 hour and 7 minutes at Toronto. Now the game is underway. Oakland failed to score in the 1st. California failed to score in the 1st.
Harry, every time I see this Stinson come up to bat against us, I think we're the only club he plays against.
He's only hitting 105 for the year, no homers and 3 RBIs, but don't be surprised if he gets about 4 for 5.
He has worn us out the last couple of years with home runs with the bases loaded. How about Dempsey not being able to get that job back at Baltimore? This kid Graham's catching every day.
We'll take him.
Goes to show you.
We'll take him.
We'll take anything.
1 ball, no strikes. High pop fly, short center field. Pryor going out. Makes the catch. 1 out.
Greg looks like he's catching a football with soft hands. Boy, he had a night last night. He had 9 chances and he only made 1 error, but some great double plays. Saved that ball game, especially the shutout for Burns.
Boy, the double play on how can he hit the ball any harder than Horton hit his? Ooh. Here's Cruz.
You know, he said, Harry, that remember you were talking about how that ball curved back to his right, or was hit at him. It did hit something by the mound.
Well, why would you doubt it? If I said it, it's the truth.
But see, I like to have you know that you're sometimes right.
A ball and a strike. That's what I like about you. You're good for my ego. Here's a toss to first, and he's out. Cruz is an easy out from Pryor to Johnson. And Barrios rolling right along. We should have counted the pitches.
Harry, why didn't we count the pitches? Anybody in the truck count the pitches? Oh, they're eating. You gotta be kidding.
What are you guys eating? Barbecue ribs or something? 2 out, nobody on. Jim Anderson, the batter. Slider in there for a strike call.
You can tell when they're working both teams. They are really biz.
2 men are out. Nobody on. Jim Anderson swings a ground ball, foul. Outside third. Hey, do you guys get paid double when you're handling the feed for the other team also? You better get Marvin Miller to represent you.
Boy, Harry, don't start that. Harry, we got enough trouble. I mean, I got enough troubles this week without you getting involved with the unions.
2 strikes, another.
Goodness gracious.
I'm so tickled to death to see somebody else in trouble that's besides me. You and him fight, Jimmy.
I think that's why you talked Charlie Warner into hiring me.
2 strikes and a ball. 2 men are out. Ball bounce foul.
You know, let's talk about Barrios. Harry, you remember how we used to watch him in spring training laying on the trainer's table with a 5-pound weight in his right hand and his fist, and then the trainer stretching it back as far as he could. The pain and the agony that he had to go through to get this far, you just don't know. This young man has proven to me that he is quite an athlete.
You know, Tony La Russa has said that he's going to let Barrios go as long as he can today, if he feels good. He's not going to limit him to the 70 pitches he meant to originally.
But just in case, he's having Mr. Trout warm up.
When's Trout scheduled to go? There's a line drive. Past Pryor. I don't think he saw that ball come off the bat. He kind of
I don't think he realized how hard it was hit. It wasn't hit that hard. It was a breaking ball up, and it sort of fooled him on the speed of the ball.
Watch the replay.
Now watch. Hits it on the end of the bat, and now he's not sure how hard it's hit, see?
Base hit.
A base hit for Anderson, and that will bring up Danny Meyer. 1-0 in favor of the White Sox, who are in the top of the third. Slider a little bit outside.
Nice crowd on hand for Shriners Day.
Look out. Foul ball, fortunately.
Ada Pinson, the first base coach, and what a great outfielder he was for Cincinnati for many years. Let me tell you, that was an outfielder, that young man right there.
Boy, they signed up everybody out of Oakland, the Reds. I think Bobby Maddox was the scout then.
Is that right?
Yeah. They got Frank Robinson, got Vada Pinson, Kurt Flood, a guy named Joe Gaines, all fellows who played in the same high school in Oakland. And Bobby Maddox had an in with a high school coach.
Took him out to dinner, huh?
And the Reds were able to get all those guys. 2 strikes and a ball. Danny Meyer waiting. Pitch out, not going anywhere.
I like that call right there. Barrios with a quick move to the plate, giving Kim a chance to release.
Hey, we got a tough game coming up tomorrow night. Ken Krabig against left-hander Jerry Kuzman. Tuesday night, Rich Dotson against Darrell Jackson, another left-hander. Hey, we're going to see 3 left-handers in a row. Only 1 right-hander will be in that starting rotation. Krabig and Trout, left-handers for the White Sox. Dotson, the right-hander. Kuzman, Jackson, and Zahn, all left-handers for the Twins. There goes the runner, swung and foul back. 3-2 the count on Dan Meyer.
Barrios is throwing that fastball, but he's not throwing it over the top, Harry. He's throwing it about almost flat. And that might get him in trouble with left-handers. I know he can get it up higher than that. He's got to come over the top to be effective with it.
Three-two pitch. Look out, there's a line drive. Baines on the run. Sensational catch. Holy cow, what a play. Watch how he catches this at the last lunge. Now this looks like it's bam, doesn't it? Doesn't it? What a catch. Crowd giving him an ovation as he trots into the dugout. His teammates are waiting for him. No runs, one hit, no errors, one left. What a magnificent play. We're going to the bottom of the third. White Sox 1, Seattle nothing. Harry Caray back at the ballpark. Here's Pryor to lead it off. Pitch is low and outside. The crowd's still buzzing on the sensational catch by Harold Baines. Kept Seattle from scoring. Good fastball.
Fans are wondering why I haven't said anything. It's because it gives me the shivers to see him do this. He's been having such a tough time, and I know the ability he has. And to have him put something together like that makes me kind of happy. And
1-1 pitch, swung on, bouncing ball, easy out, Cruz. One away.
Just a reminder for Visa MasterCharge customers, you can order tickets for any upcoming Sox home games, like the series coming up with Minnesota this week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night. In the Chicago area, simply dial call Sox 225-5769. In Illinois, the toll-free number is 800-972-8500. Out-of-state callers dial toll-free 800-621-7878. The phone lines will be open until 9 p.m. tonight, so call right now. Your tickets will be mailed to you if time permits. You can pick up your tickets the day of the game.
One out, one strike. Bobby Molinaro, the hitter. Watch the way he moves his feet in that batted ball. Line into center field for a hit. He's 2 out of 2. That'll bring up Fraudel Washington.
Molinaro was picked off in the first inning.
Then I heard Bill Beck on Mary Francis's show this morning, WBBM Radio, talking about what happened in that Glen Falls game last night, Jimmy. That was really something. A relief pitcher who had beaten the team 3 times was brought in relief with the game tied 6-6. Now, the guy waiting on deck to bat was an outfielder named Wayne Williams. He began to taunt Deutsch and then rushed out on the field and decked him. Knocked him out with a punch.
Get him up
that started a bench-clearing brawl. Williams was ejected from the game and arrested. Later released on bond. Glen Falls, meanwhile, was out of pitchers. Had a call upon the service of the first baseman, who pitched the final inning, allowing 2 runs, and lost the game. Boy, I didn't know they took that baseball that seriously in the minor league.
You know, I'd have been in jail a lot. I started a few of those jams. They'd have never caught me, those cops.
You should have been in jail a lot.
Harry, everything I learned since I've come here, I've learned from you. I just want to tell you that before we go any further.
That's why you're in trouble. 1 ball, no strikes. Throw over to first, a runner back. 1-0, White Sox.
Look at the lead he's got.
There he goes. Let it go. There's the pick. Oh, trying to steal.
Watch this now, you catchers. Stinson got a perfect pitch to his left. And with all in one motion, now as he catches the ball, he fires it because Molinaro had a good jump. There you see a split screen. Now watch, he gets it to his left and he fires the perfect throw. Boy.
I'd like to get another shot at that. I'm not too sure, but there was no argument. Anderson made the tag.
Harry, I called him out. I called him out.
I don't know. From here, it looks the TV had a.
Of course, you got Merle out there. He has a little trouble with base calling. He thinks it's a football.
Swung and he missed.
So he's been up twice. He's been picked off and caught stealing. So those base hits mean nothing.
Nice crowd on hand on a cloudy but warm day in Chicago. Looks like we're finally going to get some good weather. Outside. Minnesota leading Milwaukee 3-0 the third.
When did we hit a home run last? In Milwaukee, huh? Lemon?
Lemon hit one two in 2 days.
But Morrison hit one. Nordhagen hit one in.
Texas tied up the Yankees 1-1. Swings late. Wackenfuss.
Wackenfuss, Harry. That's a tremendous
Wackenfuss. Hit a 3-run homer in the first inning for Detroit.
He has that stance where his both feet are in the back, crosses his legs, sits down.
Detroit leading Baltimore 3-0. Stuck around.
Yeah, change up.
No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. This is Harry Caray with Jimmy Piersall. We're going to move over to the radio for a little while. The score at the end of 3, White Sox 1, Seattle 0.
Well, hello again, everyone. Joe McConnell speaking to you from Comiskey Park. Fran Barrios and the White Sox have a 1-run lead as we get set to go to the top of the 4th inning. And Frankie will face Leon Roberts, Bruce Bochy, and Joe Simpson for the Mariners. With us in the television booth today is left-hander Ross Baumgarten, who's been having a little arm problems of late. Ross, how does the shoulder feel?
Well, it feels pretty good right now, Joe. Mainly the problem is when I try to throw real hard, and the pain is just unbearable. And the doctor told me I can't throw for a week, and hopefully this Thursday I'll start to throw again.
Well, we'll give you a little idea of what life's like in the booth here for the next 3 innings. Here's Roberts, who bounced back to the mound his first time up. Low and away, ball 1. Frankie appears to be throwing pretty loose today. He's appeared stronger today than he was in his first outing.
Well, a lot of that has to do with his confidence. He proved to himself that he can go out there and pitch in a game, and he came away without any pain in his shoulder, and that just makes him feel better, and now he's probably looser and more confident and probably popping the ball a lot better.
Big swinging strike to Roberts. The count is even. 1-1. Outside a ball. Two balls and a strike. Roberts leading off the 4th for the Mariners. White Sox could move into first place with a win today, coupled with an Oakland loss at Toronto. Low and away, ball 3. Chopper foul. Roberts a tough out, but he's doubly dangerous in his home ballpark, Ross.
Well, they've got a pretty small ballpark over there. It's about 310 down the lines, and he's a big, strong guy, and he lifts a lot of fly balls out of there. But it's a different story in Comiskey.
Full count to Leon leading off the 4th for the Mariners. Here's the payoff pitch. Foul back. How do you try to pitch Roberts? Just down and away, keeping the ball out of his power area?
Well, each pitcher tries to throw him a little different. What I try to do is I try to jam him at the waist with my slider and my fastball, and hope I can.
Oh, a rocket hit the Junior Moore at third for the first out. Bang, bang. That's the best pitch in baseball right there, the Adam pitch.
Yeah. Anytime you can get an out like that, you take him.
We got one of those last night, as a matter of fact. That's when you can tell things might be going your way. Here's Bochy. Now, at the Kingdome, he is an extra tough out because he likes to hit down on the ball. He'll get a lot of high bouncers and opposite field hits there.
Well, he fights off pitches real well, and by that I mean that if you jam him, he somehow manages to get the ball over the shortstop or the third baseman's head and still get his base hits.
Bruce singled the first time up today. Bounces one foul, past Beta Pitts and the first base coach. The first 2 innings, Frankie had the Mariners bouncing the ball into the ground. They begin to tee off on them a little bit. Harold Baines came up with a run-saving catch to end the previous inning.
That was just a fantastic catch by Harold. He reaching over across his other shoulder and grabbed the ball.
Inside, 1-1. He's quite an enigma out there because he has messed up at least 5 times in the error column and maybe a couple of more times that he could have been given an error on. Then he'll turn around and make a play like that.
Well, you know, that's the, you know, we're all young and.
Chet Lemon coming in, makes the tumbling catch. Or did he? Apparently not. Apparently he dropped the ball. It looked like he had a somersaulting, tumbling catch in shallow center field, and the ball apparently came out of his glove way out there to make the call with the second base umpire, Derwood Merrill. Let's get another look at that and see if we can tell where the ball came out. The pitch was up, and Bhakti laced it to center. Oh, he trapped it in the first place. Good call by Merrill. Far better than the one at third last night. 1 on, 1 out. That's the 4th Mariner hit. The hits are even at 4 apiece. Go to first. Simpson, the batter. He bounced into a forced play his first time up. It's a bit soggy in the outfield.
Yeah.
That might be 2. Pryor shovels to Morrison for 1. To first for 2. And there's the second double play of the game, and the 40th of the year for the White Sox. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. We played 3.5 here at Comiskey Park. The White Sox lead the Mariners 1-0. Joe McConnell along with left-hander Ross Baumgarten talking to you from Comiskey Park as we move along to the home half of the 4th inning. The White Sox enjoying a 1-run lead, and Chet Lemon will be leading it off, followed by Lamar Johnson and Harold Baines. Chet's had a tough time getting a streak going this year, but his hitting has improved a little bit in the last week or so, and of course he came up with those 2 home runs up in Milwaukee.
Well, I think Chet's about to go on a tear right now, but you know, the weather's bothered everybody, and they got him in the 3rd spot, and I think Chet feels more comfortable in the 3rd spot. And I think the 2 home runs and got a couple hits last night, I think. And I think he's really going to go on a tear now.
Ball 1, low and away. You know, you mentioned the weather, and it's got to be tough for a pitcher, but on the other hand, the White Sox have seemingly played their best baseball in the toughest of weather conditions we've had.
Well,
there's a smash to right. Chet ripped the pitch to the opposite field. The lead off with a base hit, the 5th off Dressler. Throw to first, and he just got back under a diving tag. Oh, man. Whew. Roberts throwing behind the runner, and Chet had the belly flop back in there as Bhakti made a swipe for him, couldn't quite reach him. Swats the throw by Roberts. Boy, he faked him out of that. He looked at second.
We used to do that in college, Joe, and it worked sometime. I never thought after all the practicing we did that it would work, but in college we caught 3 guys that way.
Well, Chet's 2 for 2 today. Here's Lamar, bounced into a forced play his first time up. I'd like to see us derrick this guy, Dressler, in this inning. White Sox have picked up 5 hits, but only 1 run. Molinaro's been lost on the base paths twice today. Low ball, ball 1. It looked like you were starting to get your stuff together down in Texas. You pitched 7 strong innings down there, gave up 1 run, and of course that's good enough to win most times out.
Yeah, I felt pretty good. There was, you know, I was pitching with pain, and you know, I pitched a couple times and things didn't go well, and then I pitched pretty well in Texas. I got ahead of the hitters and things went well, and you know, I tried to pitch again in Milwaukee, and there's just, you know, the weather was a lot colder and it was tougher to get loose, and I just couldn't go any further.
I know we were surprised. Crowley, of course, was going to start that ball game, and then Tony changed his mind the night before. And you had pitched 1 scoreless inning, and all of a sudden, Rich and I were talking about other scores and the schedule and everything looked out there, and all of a sudden there was a right-hander on the mound. Now Lamar steps out. Ball 1 the count. Chet Lemon has singled to right here in the 4th inning to lead it off for the White Sox, who lead it 1-0. If you were an opposing pitcher, how would you pitch Lamar Johnson?
I think I'd just throw the ball and pray. He's up there with a real wide stance, which means he won't get fooled too much, and he makes a lot of good contact, and in my opinion, Lamar hit some of the sweetest line drives in the game today. So I guess I'd try to just change speeds and move the ball around in the strike zone. Hope he hit it at someone.
Ball 2 the count. Another throw to first. I think Lamar has been criticized, and maybe unfairly, for his lack of home runs. I know as opposing broadcaster that 2 previous years I wondered why this guy didn't crank more out. And I think maybe that's one reason why he's a 300 hitter. He doesn't try for the home runs, and he just tries for contact.
Well, he's a great contact hitter. And
there's the example, a ground ball down the left field line. The runner was going. Lemon goes into third standing, and Lamar Johnson hustles into second base with a double, his 5th of the year, and the White Sox have runners on at second and third and nobody out. Well, again, Dressler got that pitch up and in, and Lamar tomahawked it right over the third base bag. That seems to be the biggest problem a pitcher has in this league outside of learning how to change speeds, is getting that ball up.
Yeah, well, Lamar's been talking in the locker room lately about how when he gets a pitch inside and just about that zone that Dressler just threw the ball, that he's been pulling off it too much and trying to pull it. And he's found out, he looked at some tapes, and he found out he didn't have to pull the ball that much. And I think maybe he was thinking about that just then.
Here's Harold Baines, and they're going to walk him with nobody out to load the bases. He tripled to the base of the right center field fence the first time up and scored the first run. And they're giving him an intentional pass, which is something you don't often see with nobody out this early in the ball game.
Well, I don't understand this strategy at all. I guess maybe they're thinking Harold hit a line shot for a triple last time at bat, and they don't want him to get another opportunity.
Well, that'll be the first walk against Dressler, and that will load the bases with nobody out. And a right-hander is up now and throwing in the Seattle bullpen. That'll bring up Jimmy Morrison. Bob McLaughlin is loosening up now in the right field bullpen for the Seattle Mariners. There's a look at McLaughlin. Nobody out, bases loaded. There's Harold Baines leading off at first. Lamar Johnson is doubled on at second, and Chet Lemon, who opened it up with a single, over at third. White Sox trying to bust this one open right now. Jimmy Morrison, who drove in the first run with a sacrifice fly, is up there now with a sac jammed and nobody out. Infield is pulled up and all the way around. And Dressler stepped off the rubber. Oh, when you're in a situation like this, you just got to pray for a strikeout, a pop-up, or a line drive at somebody.
Something. This is a toughest situation in baseball. Very rarely does a pitcher get out of this without giving up a run.
And he's hit for the pitch. The run is in. That's the 4th time that Morrison's been hit by a pitch this year. And he gets his 2nd run batted into the game, his 17th of the season, and the White Sox lead it 2-0. That pitch came right in on him and hit him on the hand. Boy, up and in. Dressler is very high with his pitches. Now here comes the pitching coach, Wes Stock, out of the first base dugout to have a word with Dressler. The bases are loaded and a run is in here now. Nobody out. Bottom of the 4th, the White Sox have a 2-run lead. Now Schuler, of course, has made a few trips out to talk to you. In a situation like this, what do you look for from a pitching coach? He can't get the man out for you. What do you tell the guy?
Well, you know, you just try and go over what you want to do with this hitter. Most of the times in this situation, you don't want the batter to get a full cut at you, so you try to jam him, or you try and really change speeds. Throw your changeup or change up on one of your breaking pitches, and maybe try and get his bat out in front, and hope he just hits a little chopper somewhere. Just basically to keep in mind, don't give up. Always go after the hitter. Stay aggressive.
Here's Junior Moore now. Base is still loaded. A run in. Nobody out.
We got a good chance to break the game open right now, Joe.
Infield is still pulled up. Ground ball up the middle. Base hit. Johnson scores. Baines being waved on in. Going to third is Morrison. It's 4-0. A 2-run single up the middle by Junior Moore. His 4th and 5th runs of the year batted in. And he's now hit safely in 6 straight games and 13 of the last 14. That's going to be it for Dressler. Again, he got that pitch up.
See, he probably wanted to go inside, but he got it right over the plate, and Junior hit the ball right through the middle.
That's all for Dressler. McLaughlin's been called in with a bullpen. The White Sox have 3 runs in here. Runners on at first and third. Nobody out. Bottom of the fourth. They lead it 4-0. And let's pause and listen to this. Well, the line on Dressler, he pitched 3 complete innings and did not retire a batter here in the fourth. He has surrendered 7 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned at this point, and of course he's responsible for Jimmy Morrison on at third and Junior Moore on at first. He struck out 1, walked 1 intentionally. The right-hander on the mound now, by McLaughlin, is 1-2 with a 9.53 earned run average. He has picked up 1 save. He has started 1 ball game in 11 appearances this year, worked 17 innings. He's been hit hard. He's given up 25 hits, 18 earned runs. So Bruce Kim, the first batter to face him with runners on at first and third. Still nobody out. A 3-run inning here in the fourth. Kim bounced to short his first trip up against Dressler this afternoon.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Tony put the hit and run on right now.
Yeah, he likes to wheel and deal when he gets the runner 2 ahead. And it can open up a lot of things. Sliced foul off to the right. Low skimming liner back into the lower deck.
Looked like Bruce Kim was trying to go to right field on that ball.
McLaughlin has one of the most unusual deliveries you'll ever see.
Yeah, he does something very funny with his mitt. It's
he crooks his arm almost.
Yeah, it's very unusual, and I think it distracts a lot of hitters. I think last year we had a little bit of problems with Byron.
Strike 1 to Bruce Kim. Morrison on at third. Junior Moore on at first. Check swing, low line foul again. Almost the same spot, deep into the lower deck. Behind the home plate, and the count is 2 strikes and no balls. That pitch was up and in on him, and Bruce couldn't get the bat out of the way. Boy, he's been a pleasant surprise with a bat. Everyone knew he could catch and could handle pitches.
He's been sensational. He's been hitting around 300 all year.
Slices it foul. It's going to drift out of play again.
He
lands on the camera rack off the upper deck on the first base side, and a man down there with a tripod got himself a souvenir.
Bruce has been hitting and running when we need it. He's been making contact. He's been driving in some runs, and he's been catching fantastic and moving the young pitchers around and calling excellent ball games.
2 strikes the count. Infield still pulled in. Low and outside the ball. 1-2 the count. When you go out there now, do you have the option of calling your own game, or will you let Bruce try to call your game for you?
Well, you know, the final decision's ours, of course, but one thing that you'll notice is that not many of our pitchers are shaking Bruce off or Marv when they're catching.
Low and inside with a off-speed breaking ball, and the count evens now at 2-2 to Kim. Still nobody out here. The White Sox have scored 3, and they have runners on at first and third. There's the score, and there's a look at Darrell Johnson, the troubled manager of the Mariners. Check swing, he went. Off-speed pitch fooled him, and that time McLaughlin didn't go with that odd move when he came to the plate. You really pulled the string on that one. Good pitch anyway.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I thought Dressler might try to do with the bases loaded, and he didn't. You can see how well it works. Batter sees a lot of runners on base. He gets a little over anxious. Sometimes you can throw that slow stuff at him and get him to overreact.
Here's Greg Pryor. He is busted out of his slump of late. Bounced to second his first time up the infield, back halfway now with 1 out. There goes the runner, Junior Moore, and the pitch is fouled upstairs, out of play. Hit and run was on. Strike 1 the count. Well, the Royals have jumped off with a 5-1 lead over the Angels. Kansas City batting in the bottom of the second. They got 5 in the first inning. Texas, the Rangers and the Yankees tied at 1. Texas batting in the top of the 5th at New York. And in the one we're most interested in right now, Toronto leading Oakland 1-0. The A's in the top of the 4th at Toronto.
Toronto's been getting some super pitching lately.
How about Keogh going 14 yesterday?
I wonder how his arm feels today.
Probably doesn't feel at all. Well, the Braves beat the Mets in the first of 2 in Atlanta, 2-1. Ground ball, base hit in the left, another runner's in. Moore on second, he'll hang on there. And Pryor delivers his 7th run batted into the air. Now it's a 4-run inning and a 5-0 lead. Well, when you're hot, you're hot, and when you're not, you're not.
Well, Byron McLaughlin tried to do the same thing. He struck Bruce Kim out there and tried to throw a real slow breaking ball. And Greg just pulled the ball past the third baseman.
When the club's going bad, those are the kind of hits that fall in against you. The little squib hits, the pop-ups, the high bouncers. And then it turns around suddenly and goes your way. Here's Bobby Molinaro. He's 2 for 2. Low into the dirt. Blocked by Stinson. Ball 1. Runners on at first and second. The infield now back at double play depth. 4 runs are in. White Sox leading at 5-0 here in the bottom of the 4th. Ross Baumgarten is our guest commentator today. There's ball 2 down low. If there's a player's strike, and it looks like there's going to be one, how do you plan on keeping yourself in shape?
Well, the doctor's telling me I shouldn't be throwing until next Thursday anyway, so if we strike, I'm liable to take a few more days off further than that. Try and give myself a little bit more rest, and I guess I'll go over to my high school and try and throw at them.
Will you run a lot?
Oh, I'll run about 3-4 miles every day if we're on strike.
Call strike to Molinaro. 2-1 to count to Bobby. Junior Moore first on at second. Pryor with a lead at first. High pop-up. Bachke calling for it. And Stein ran right into him, but Bachke, who's about 3 inches taller and a little bit stronger and bigger, made the catch. So there are 2 out. Let's watch this again. Claudell Washington is the next batter up, and the White Sox have batted around. My dance, my dance, my dance. I told you I was going to lead.
I like the look Bruce Bachke gave Steiny on that.
What are you doing over here? You're a third baseman. This is my territory. Here's Claudell. The White Sox have batted around. Strike on the outside corner, knee high. That was a perfect pitch. 2 on, 2 out, 4 in. Claudell has popped up and struck out in 2 trips. Good crowd today. Pop up. This time it's Stein's ball. He's in foul territory, and he gloves it right on the line behind the bag. And that does it for the White Sox, but they pick up 4 runs on 4 hits. There was also an intentional walk and a hit batter, and 2 men are left. After 4 completed at Comiskey Park, the White Sox 5, the Seattle Mariners nothing.
This is something else.
Hey, stay tuned following today's telecast for Bonanza, starring Lorne Green and Michael Landon. And watch Bonanza each weeknight at 6 here on TV 44. Oh, would they have a brawl at Glens Falls last night? Like father, like son, huh? Here's Stein. Fran Barrios now with a 5-run lead in his pocket here in the top of the 5th. Strike on the outside corner. Good pitch. Stein singled to right center his first time up. Fran has allowed 4 hits in 4 innings. Outside, 1-1 the count. Well, they've knocked out Moose Haas in Minnesota. Boitano's been brought on in the 3rd. There's a rip to left center base hit. Stein is 2 for 2, and that's the 5th hit off Barrios. Stein is one of those guys that will hang around for 10 or 12 years, never really own a position, but he's valuable enough. He'll hit once in a while, and he can also play first or third, and I think he could even catch in a pinch.
Yeah, he plays second base too, and he's an excellent defensive ball player. And I think last night or the night before, he made a diving grab on a line drive or a 1-hopper, and he's hardly played first base at all.
So a leadoff single by Stein. Here's Craig, who bounced into a second to short to first double play. There have been 2 double plays behind Barrios. Swing and a miss. Boy, he was going to jerk that one out of here. Was looking for the fastball, and Barrios gave him an off-speed pitch. Strike 1. Twins now have an 8-1 lead over the Brewers in the bottom of the 4th at the Met. They're in here tomorrow night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night. Too bad you're not in the rotation. They've won one game all year against the left-hander. High drive to center. Chet Levin has to go back. He started in initially, and he makes the catch. Long throw to first. Chet misjudged a drive out here the other night and outran it to make the catch. Here's Stinson, who popped to short his first time up. Cleveland leading the Red Sox 2-0 at Cleveland in the top of the 6th. Stanley pitching for Boston. Ground ball on a broken bat to Pryor. If he hustles, they might get 2. They do! The third double play of the ball game. Short to second to first. The White Sox now have turned 41 double plays this year. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. We've reached the halfway point through 4.5 here at Comiskey Park. The White Sox 5, the Mariners nothing. Well, we move along to the bottom of the 5th. Bob McLaughlin pitching in his second inning of relief of Rob Dressler. White Sox have a 5-0 lead. 5-8-0. The totals on the board for the White Sox. No runs, 5 hits, no errors. For the Mariners in 5 innings against Barrios, and Franny's really been helped out by the defense today. Baines made a run-saving catch in right, and the infield has turned in 3 double plays. Good news from Toronto. The Jays have scored 2 more in the 4th, and now with Oakland batting in the top of the 5th, Toronto has a 3-0 lead.
We're all pulling for Toronto right now. We'd like to get in first place and stay there for a long time.
Well, wouldn't that be nice? It would also be a story equaling the Olympic hockey team over the Russians, I think, in magnitude if it happened. Here's Chet Levin. He's 2 for 2 today. The White Sox banded around him at 4-run 4th. Pitch bounces in and away from Stinson. Ball 1. Well, this has been a year for the underdogs. Philly won the Kentucky Derby. The North Stars upset the Montreal Canadiens in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Islanders might well win it. Dub foul off to the left. 1 ball and 1 strike to Chet Levin.
I hope in a couple of months, Joe, you can add us to that list.
Be nice. Well, the A's are an even bigger surprise than the White Sox. And how about Toronto in the East?
It seems like every year there's a couple teams who just, surprise and stay there the whole year. That's what makes baseball baseball.
2-1 to count. Who would have thought the Lakers would have blown out the Sixers without Kareem in Game 6 at Philadelphia?
I was looking at Magic Johnson's statistics for that game. They're just incredible.
Awesome. He and Bird are the 2 best rookies to come into the NBA in years. 2-1 to count. Inside, leads him away. 3-1. When Morrison got nicked on the knuckle with that pitch in the last inning, it was the 4th time he's been hit. Chet right behind. He's been plugged 3 times this year.
I think Chet led the league in getting hit last year, something like 14 or 15 times. He stands pretty close to the plate, gets his hands up over it.
Outside the ball, he walks it. Well, one of the all-time favorites here at Comiskey Park, Minnie Minoso, who is here today and spends a lot of time out here. He may have a lifetime record for getting hit. Frank Robinson was another one, used to get plugged about 20 times a year.
The guy I always remember when I was growing up that get hit a lot of times during the course of the season was Ron Hunt.
Yeah. High and tight. Ball 1 to Lamar Johnson. Lamar has doubled and scored in 2 trips. A lot of youngsters here today on Shrine Day. Good crowd. There's a smash down the left field line, and Lamar's going to go for his 2nd straight double. Levin into 3rd. There goes the big guy lumbering into 2nd, and Johnson has doubled on 2 successive trips here to the plate. His 6th double of the year, and the White Sox have another inning going. That time he got a pitch belt high inside, and he pulled it right over the bag.
That's the same pitch that Lamar hit last time, really, and you know, a couple days ago, he thought maybe he was pulling off the ball too quick, and maybe a couple days ago he'd hit a foul ball, but he's restructured his thinking, and he knows he has a little bit more time to swing now, and instead he's got 2 doubles. It's a game of inches.
Well, I guess. Millimeters when you're talking about where that ball winds up on the bat. Here's Harold Baines. He is tripled. Got an intentional pass, and they're going to walk him again to load the bases again. Now, this is the 2nd straight time we've seen this.
Well, I don't understand this thinking at all. You got to get outs now.
Well, you're down by 5 runs. They did this in the last inning, and the White Sox batted around and scored 4 times.
Well, let's hope we do it again. As long as he's willing to keep walking him, we'll keep scoring.
There's ball 4, and the bases are reloaded with nobody out. Well, I'd like to hear the strategy on that. I can understand it if you're locked up in a tie ball game in the 9th when you got to have a 4th play at the plate, and a long fly ball's going to win it anyway. There's Harold Baines on at first base with his 2nd straight intentional pass. Lamar Johnson, who's doubled the last 2 times, up is on at 2nd, and Chet Lemon, who led off this inning with a walk, is over at 3rd. Nobody out. And here's Jimmy Morrison for the 2nd straight time, batting with the bases loaded, nobody out. The last time up, he got hit by a pitch. Jimmy's knocked in 2 runs today, giving him 17 on the year. Oh, big swing and a miss. He was going downtown with that one.
Jimmy wanted 4 ribbies with that swing.
The infield is pulled in all the way around. Any kind of ground ball hit to one side or another of an infielder is going to go through. The outfield deep and around to the left. Foul back. 2 strikes and no balls.
Hey, it looks like Byron McLaughlin's got a little tender arm himself, the way he's holding it after he throws the ball.
Nobody heating up. Apparently, Johnson's going to sink or swim with him. Fly ball to center. As Chet is tagging up, and he bluffs a break for home. The throw comes in. All runners hold. Bases loaded. 1 out. Oh, Jimmy wanted to yank one out of here. Well, there's Junior Moore. He knocked in 2 with a ground ball single the last time up, 1 for 2. And, you know, Junior has had some troubles going to his left defensively, but guarding that line, he's come up with 3 or 4 great backhanded stops near the line at third since he came up from Iowa.
Well, you know, Junior hadn't played much third base in the last couple of years, and, you know, it takes a while to get used to a position and to feel comfortable. And the more he plays, you can see he's gaining confidence in his ability to play, and the results are obvious. He's playing third base really well now. It's very difficult to come into the major leagues and play a position that you haven't really played in a long time.
Ray Burris, former Cub, is starting in that 2nd game for the Mets. He's pitched pretty well for New York this year. Of course, I know you're an old Cub fan.
Yeah. Well, many times I've seen Ray pitch. I'd like to see him have a good year.
Bases loaded, 1 out. The pitch to Junior Moore. Foul ball. I should modify that. You're not old anything. But, you know, the strange thing about baseball, once a fan of a certain club, you're always a fan of that club, no matter where you go or who you wind up working for.
Well, I know I am. My main interests, of course, are with the White Sox, but I'll always be a Cub fan.
Sure. It'd be great for everybody concerned if we could play the North Siders in the World Series, wouldn't it?
Oh, I love it.
Strike 2. Good pitch on the outside corner. Good slider. 0-2 now to Junior Moore. Boy, this town would absolutely go bananas.
Just, you know, it's been a while since anybody's won in this town. You could tell over the winter what it did when we had a winner here, when DePaul was undefeated and ranked #1 all the time.
Wild pitch. This comes the run in, and the runners move up to 2nd and 3rd. 6-0 White Sox. That ball was into the dirt and outside and through Stinson all the way to the backstop. So Chet Lemon has scored. Lamar Johnson moved to 3rd, and Harold Baines down to 2nd. Let's get another look at that. He had him in the hole. 2 strikes. And boy, if you're a pitcher, you got to be absolutely sick with that one.
You know, he got the first out of the inning, and he's in a position where if he got a ground ball, he might be able to get a double play and get out of it. And now he throws a ball in the dirt like that and run scores. Now there's not even that double play left.
They have to pull in the infield. Check swing. They called him out. He broke his wrist. Big out there. Second strikeout for McLaughlin. Yeah, you think about the run that scores immediately, but you don't realize what it does to the situation because you take off that forced play.
Completely changed the whole, his whole way of thinking and the offensive way of thinking.
Here's Bruce. He's bounced out and struck out. Inside, belt high, ball one. Lamar is over at third. Harold Baines on at second. 2 out. A run is in here in the 5th inning. The White Sox now have a 6-run lead. Foul ball, and it's going to drift out of play over behind the Mariner dugout. 1 ball and 1 strike. White Sox have 6 runs on 9 hits. The Mariners no runs on 5 hits. We're in the bottom of the 5th. The lights are now on here. Although it turned out to be a pleasant day, and considering what we've played in, it's ideal.
This is probably the driest day we've had in a long time.
We've had that one good weekend when the Brewers were in town, but you'd rather forget about that.
Yeah.
Ball 2.
That wasn't one of my favorite days.
Biggest crowd of the year. Sunshine for a change. It wasn't meant to be. You didn't lose that one by yourself that day.
Well, you know, we win as a team and we lose as a team.
That's true. Ball 3. 3-1 now to Kim. Another bad one would reload him and bring up Greg Pryor.
See, if he was going to walk, he walked that man with nobody out. I would think he'd want to walk this guy too. Get a force out at any base now. Obviously, his thinking is along those lines.
Low bridge. Kim out of the way just in time, and he's on base. So the bases are loaded again. It's a 3rd walk off McLaughlin. 2 of them, though, intentional. Well, here comes Greg Pryor. He singled in a run the last time up. He's 1 for 2. Bounced out to second back in the 3rd inning. White Sox having some fun today.
It's one of the few games all year where we've really jumped out to a real big lead like this early.
Well, we've had some bizarre games. Ball 1, low and away. No place to put Pryor. And now the Mariners are going to get some activity in the bullpen again. A left-hander's up.
Dave
Roberts, well-traveled veteran of both leagues.
Yeah, he just came over here from Pittsburgh.
And here comes the manager, Darrell Johnson, out. He may make the switch right here, although Roberts just got up.
I've got a feeling, Joe, that Byron McLaughlin's arm's bothering him. He's been clutching it a little funny.
Well, from the truck, they were reading lips, and apparently you're absolutely right. McLaughlin has told manager Darrell Johnson that his arm is about to fall off. Well, that's got to be tough. You make your living with one arm, basically, and when that starts hurting, it's like an announcer losing his voice.
It's, well, we had one of those in this city last winter. We had a hockey announcer lose his voice. It's, you know, not only do you have to worry about the hitters, but you also have to worry about that shooting pain that drives through your arm like a knife. And certainly takes away from some of your concentration.
Did you ever have trouble with your arm when you were in high school, when you were first starting out?
Not in high school, and I had a little bit of trouble in college. And
first time, I imagine it really scares you.
Well, I'm not too happy about it right now. You know, anytime you hurt your arm, there's always that fear that it'll never feel exactly right again. But you know, the doctors have assured me it's just a slight muscle tear, and you know, I'll be okay in a couple weeks.
1-1 count now to Pryor. Bases loaded, 2 out, a run in. High foul. It's going to carry out a play, I believe. Yes, back into the lower deck of boxes, just beyond the Mariner dugout. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You know exactly when you tore that muscle? Did you know exactly when you tore your muscle?
Yeah, well, it came at a point when I had to warm up in the bullpen between my Baltimore and between my two Baltimore starts, home and away, and it just got worse as I kept trying to pitch.
Shallow fly to right center. Cruz backpedaling, and Roberts makes the knee-high basket catch. And that retires the side. The White Sox 1 run. 1 hit. There were 3 walks in the inning and 3 men left on. We've completed 5 here at Comiskey Park. The White Sox 6. The Seattle Mariners nothing. There's the score. The White Sox leading by 6 as we move to the top of the 6th inning. Fran Barrios with a great chance to pick up his first win of the year. And what a comeback he has made. It's normally a 2-year recuperative process from a rotator cuff operation of any type, and here's Fran pitching about 8 months after he was cut on, and boy, this has made medical history already.
Well, you know, it's a tribute to all the long hours that Herman Schneider, our trainer, has put into working with Frankie, and a tribute to Frankie for putting in those long hours and doing the work. It's not easy. It's long, and it's a lot of weightlifting and a lot of work.
Julio Cruz, the batter. One hopper knocked down by Lamar Johnson. He has to scramble. The flip to Barrios. He can't handle the throw. The runner's safe at first. That was a smash, a one hopper off the tip of Lamar's glove. And I think they'll probably score that as a hit. Tough play all around. A hit for Cruz, his first hit in the series. Now here's Anderson. He singled the last time up. He's walked and single today.
We've got Tony coming out to talk with Frankie now. He's got to be pretty close to his pitch limit that they've given him.
Tex Wortham now heating up in the Sox pen. Tex has had a rough start this year despite his 3-1 record.
Well, you know, it's really only a couple innings that Tex has pitched bad, and you know he's learning something new too, relief pitching. You know, I wouldn't like to do what he's doing, and his attitude's just been great about it. It's not an easy job.
Here's Jimmy Anderson with Cruz on at first, nobody out. That's the 6th hit off Barrios.
See if we can get our 4th double play here.
Big swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch. Anderson was expecting fastball, and Franny took something off that pitch. Strike 1 the count. He hasn't tried to overpower anybody today. He hasn't struck out anybody. He's been around the plate. He's walked 1.
He's made some excellent pitches in those double play situations, throwing left-handers fastballs up and away. Very hard pitch to drive, and they've just hit weak ground balls, and perfect double play pitch.
Detroit leading Baltimore 3-2 at Tiger Stadium. The Orioles batting in the top of the 5th. Yankees now have a 4-1 lead over the Texas Rangers in the 6th at New York. High fly to center. Chet Lemon, plenty of room. 1 out. It's one thing you got going here, Ross. You got that monstrous outfield.
Plenty of room out there. Sometimes I don't use all this park. That's my problem. Too many people hit the lines on me. If I can get them to hit the ball to center field more often, I'll be a lot better off.
Junior Moreover now talking with Barrios as Wortham continues to heat up in the Sox bullpen. This is, I wouldn't say for sure it would be Barrios' last inning. The way Junior's talking, they're either going over the combination of the safe, or he's just killing some time here.
I think they are. I think Frankie just about had his pitch limit, and you know, we got a big lead, and there's no sense.
Here comes Tony.
No sense making him overexert himself.
Now Tony's coming out. What is this with this superstition in this ball club? We have nobody that's willing to step on that line going off the field. Tony walked right up to it and then gingerly stepped over it. Here comes Tex Wortham. That's going to be all. Going to be all for Barrios, but Fran certainly did a heck of a job today. Pitched 5 1/3 innings. given up 6 hits, no runs. Walked 1, has not struck out anybody. And Tex Wortham coming on to pitch now as Barrios has reached his limit of about 80 pitches today. So he'll lead with a 6-0 lead and a great chance to pick up a victory. We'll be back to tell you about Tex Wortham in just a moment. Tex Wortham now coming on to pitch in relief, making his 13th appearance of the year. Tex has started 2 ball games. He's 3-1 record-wise with a 4.40 earned run average. In 30 2/3 innings work, Tex has given up 28 hits, 15 earned runs, 17 strikeouts, 18 walks.
You know, with the exception of that 1 bad inning he had against Milwaukee here on that Sunday, you know, Texas ERA would probably be in the 2s.
Yeah, he did have a disaster. Gave up 6 runs without retiring a batter, and it's going to kill anybody's earned run average for about a month.
Yeah.
Fran only pitched 57 pitches today in 5 1/3 innings. That's pretty good maximum use there.
Well, the double plays helped that out.
First pitch is a ball to Dan Meyer, who lined out hard to Baines the last time up. Harold made a great sensational running catch near the line that probably prevented a run from scoring because Anderson was running with a pitch with 2 out. And he's also bounced into a forced play. Throw to first, runners back. Ball 2 the count. Texas had a little control problems this year, which has led to some of his undoing.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the big problems with relief pitching is that you have to get ready so quick that sometimes you warm up incorrectly, I think. I know when I was in relief in the end of '78, I was finding out that, you know, you can't really take a lot of time to get your proper mechanics straight, and you might be doing something. All it takes is one little thing to get everything out of coordination there, and it's difficult when you only have a couple minutes to get loose.
Ball 4, he lost him on 4 pitches. So the Mariners now have 2 men on, 1 out. And what the White Sox need here is a 4th double play. Leon Roberts the batter. Hamilton is now pitching for the Oakland A's in the 5th. It's a good sign. Roberts has bounced out and lined out. Boy, did he hit a screamer at Junior Moore at 3rd the last time up. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Cleveland still leading Boston 2-1 in the bottom of the 7th at Cleveland. Royals 5-1 over the California Angels in the bottom of the 5th at Royal Stadium in Kansas City. The Twins 8-3 over the Brewers in the bottom of the 5th at the Met. Well, a stolen base. Julio Cruz just took off and swiped 3rd without even drawing a throw. So now the runners are on at 1st and 3rd, 1 out, and a 1-1 count to Leon Roberts. That's the 9th steal and 10 tries for Cruz this year.
He's an excellent base runner, and he's not afraid to take 3rd. There's a couple runners in the league who'll take 3rd if you don't watch them too closely. Molitor's 1 and Cruz is another.
Ball 2 low and away, 2-1 to count. Then there's Willie Wilson, who steals 1st regularly.
And the Oakland A's are stealing home this year, I read, so.
Oh, yeah. Boy, did they have Detroit messed up earlier. Ball 3, that just missed. Boy, that looked like a good pitch from here. 3-1. Tex again struggling with his control here at the offset. Ball 4, the bases are loaded. One thing you want to prevent, you don't want to walk people when you got a big lead. And he's walked 2 straight batters now, and the bases are loaded. You can't let a club get back.
Looks like they're going to get Mike Crowley up now in the bullpen.
Boy, Crowley has done a super job this year. Nothing really to show for it. He's 0-2 record-wise with 1 save, but he has kept us in a lot of ball games this year.
He has.
Bruce Bochy batting with the bases loaded, 1 out. Wortham has yet to retire a batter since he came on in relief of Barrios. He's walked the first 2 batters. Ball 1. There's Roberts on at 1st. Meyer taking his lead at 2nd. And over at 3rd is Julio Cruz. Now Tech steps off the rubber. Bhakti undoubtedly is the best player the Mariners have. Bouncing ball to Morrison at second. Through him for an error. The run will score and the bases will remain loaded. Jimmy's disgusted with himself. That might have been the fourth double play of the ball game. That's the first error.
Okay, give him an RBI.
They will give Bhakti an RBI because you can't assume the double play. So it's a 6-1 ball game now.
Tom Pachorik's going to pinch hit.
Yeah, Pachorik's going to bat for Simpson.
He's an excellent hitter. I think one of the most underrated hitters I've faced in this league.
Is that right?
He hits lefties extremely well. Good breaking ball hitter. Likes to hit the curved ball and the slider. Steve Trout pitched him real well the other night. Threw him a lot of changeups.
Well, the bases are still loaded. 1 out. A run is in. And Proley is heating up in the Sox pen. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball down and in. Pachorik has been around a long time. He was a Dodger chattel for a long time. He's hitting .231. 2 runs batted in. He played in the first game of the series. Strike 2. Well, Tex has him in the hole now. 2 strikes and no balls. Ball ripped to left. That'll score 1. And they're waving on Roberts. He comes to the plate and scores standing up. It's 6-3. Runners on at first and second. Still only 1 out. 3 runs have scored here in the 6th inning. Now 2 runs will be charged to Tex Wortham. Stein is the scheduled batter. And here comes Tony out of the dugout. Proley has been up and throwing for about 4 minutes or so. Tony taking his time.
Pitching lineup, Barrios, 5 1/3 innings.
1 run charged to Barrios in 5 1/3 innings.
1 run, no
The second and third runs in this inning charged to Tex Wortham, and they're going to bring Proley in. Well, another tough outing for Tex Wortham. And he'll leave. He did not retire a batter, although Morrison booted a ground ball to sure out and maybe a possible inning-ending double play ball. So Proley comes on, and we'll be back to tell you about Mike Proley in just a minute.
Call TrueLink Fan.
Mike Proley has come on now for the 15th time this year. He has 1 more appearance now appearing in this ball game than Ed Farmer. Comes on, and we'll be back to tell you about Mike Proley in just a minute.
Call TrueLink Fan.
Mike Proley has come on now for the 15th time this year. He has 1 more appearance now appearing in this ball game than Ed Farmer. His record is 0-2, but look at that earned run average, 2.19 with 1 save. Proley normally has been used in early or middle inning relief. He's worked 37 innings, and that is 4th highest in the staff. He's given up 32 hits, only 9 earned runs, struck out 20 and walked 10. Proley has pitched very well this year. He got the loss up in Milwaukee when he came on in relief of the young man who's sitting in the booth here this afternoon, Ross Baumgarten. His arm stiffened up, and Proley pitched 6 innings that day and pitched very well. Stein, the batter, he's 2 for 2 today. Runners on at first and second, 1 out. Big error by Morrison in the inning. 3 runs are in. Low and outside, backhanded nicely by Bruce Kim. Ball 1. Well, the Mariners are off the mat. They were down 6-0 going into this inning. You want to stop him right here.
Need a ground ball double play.
Drive to center. Chet racing back after, ball carrying deep, and he outruns it. Out on the edge of the warning track, that ball had to be hit nearly 400 feet. Bhakti tagged up and went all the way to third and rounded third on that one.
Ball was hit pretty well, and Chet did a great job in getting back on that. one of the pleasures of playing in your own park. A lot of room.
Boy, both outs have been deep flies to center in this inning. 2 down. Here's Rodney Craig, who's bounced into a double play and fly to center. Crowley's a battler. He's got a great slider. Got a lot of bulldog in him.
Apparently some of the opposing hitters in the league think he's got a lot of bulldog in him. They've been taking him out.
Ball 1. Most unfortunate, too.
Well,
I can understand his sensei maybe getting riled because the pitch he was hit with was up and in, but Ogilvy, stands on top of home plate anyway, begging to be hit, gets hit below the knee with a slider down and in and wants to charge him out. Ball 2 outside.
There was just no reason for Ogilvy to charge him out in that instance, and I'm sure if he had to do it over again, I don't think he would. Kind of thing, though, that you read in the paper. You probably read in the paper about Mike and DeCences getting into it in Baltimore, and it triggers everything else a lot easily. A guy like Eddie Farmer, he threw a ball behind Willie Wilson's back a couple weeks ago, and no one thinks anything of it. Mike's been saying that just because of his size, they've been taking liberties with him.
Hey, Farmer flipped 2 Royals out in 1 ball game last year as a starting pitcher before he came over to Chicago. Frank White and Al Collins. Ball 4. He lost him. Well, that's the 3rd walk of the inning. And the 4th of the ball game issued by the White Sox staff. That's the one thing can tell you there's no defense for that. The bases are loaded again. 2 out. Stinson is going to bat for himself, which is kind of surprising, really. But then Darrell Johnson's done a couple of surprising things today, like walking Harold Baines in 2 straight innings with runners on at 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. One time it might have paid off, and one time it didn't. Stinson has popped up and bounced into a double play. Ground ball right on the line. Booted by Lamar Johnson. A run will score. Oh, they got him out. Incredible. Stinson took all day to get to first base. That ball bounced away from Lamar Johnson, foul territory, and gives Crowley a tremendous amount of credit. He was over there where he was supposed to be. Unbelievable.
Well, we spent long hours in spring training working on just this kind of play where the first baseman or the second baseman's a little bit delayed in throwing the ball, and the pitcher has to run over there and stand on the bag instead of running through it. That's exactly what Mike Crowley did.
Well, I can't believe they got Stinson out of there. Anybody else in the ballpark would have beaten that one out. 3-run score on 2 hits. There were 3 walks and 3 left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. The White Sox leading the Mariners 6-3. Well, a couple of defensive switches. Craig has moved to center, and Pachorik stays in the ball game, and he'll play in left field. Simpson is out of the lineup. And Dave Roberts, a much-traveled veteran left-hander, has come on now to pitch in place of the sore-armed reliever, Bob McLaughlin, who worked 2 innings, gave up 1 run on 2 hits, struck out 2 and walked 3. 2 of the 3 walks were intentional. Roberts, a left-hander, has been with a lot of different ball clubs, including the Chicago Cubs. He has no decision. This is his 3rd appearance with the Mariners. He's worked 7 in the 3rd innings, given up 10 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned. Struck out 5 and walked 1. His earned run average of 6.14 in his 2 relief appearances. Wayne Nordhagen has yanked the bat out of the rack.
Looks like Alan Bannister's grabbed one too.
Yeah. So they'll be batting for Molinaro and Washington here, leading off the 6th for the White Sox.
1 wild pitch.
Norty will bat for Molinaro in the leadoff DH slot today. .342 average for Norty with 3 homers, 16 runs batted in, 3 game-winning RBIs. Boy, what a sweet Blue double he had with the bases loaded the other day in Milwaukee, which was almost a carbon copy of the ball that Heisel hit the night before.
I was sitting at home watching that after going to the hospital Thursday, and I can remember the headline the next day, Sox hardest blow was softest or something.
Yeah.
That's all it
takes. Bud Selig was upset about it, but he must have had a short memory. Norty looks at a pitch outside for a ball. Ball 1. Molinaro was 2 for 3 today. Randy Craig on a super play.
Just a great grab. He got to the fence and timed his leap perfectly.
Boy, you won't see a better catch than that. I don't know what kept that ball inside the yard. Norty got almost all of that. He didn't really yank it, but he bashed it deep to left center field. Look at Craig going back and banging into that fence out there and hanging onto the ball. What a play. They just moved into center field this inning. Here's Alan Bannister. Well, Banny got a leadoff hit last night. He's hitting only 184. 2 hits in his last 33 official trips. He has really been struggling. Check swing roller down the first base line. Bhakti will make the play unassisted, and there's 2 outs. And Bannister can't believe it. He just turns around and walks back to the dugout. He didn't even want to hit it. Now, that's the example I was talking about. When you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. Well, 2 of the quicker outs you'll see. Now here's Chet Lemon. Chet, a perfect day. 2 hits and a walk and 2 runs scored. Breaking ball down and in, handcuffed him. Strike 1. I didn't think there was anybody who was going to catch Nordhagen's ball.
That ball's out of 95% of the parks in our league. That ball's way out in Seattle, but, you know, I'd still rather have our big park.
Spoken like a true left-handed pitcher. Ground ball to third. Stein has it. 3 up and 3 down, and we're through 6 here at Comiskey Park. Harry will be back to take you the rest of the way. But after 6 innings of play, the White Sox lead this rubber game 6-3 over the Mariners.
Okay, he's in.
Harry Caray back in the ballpark. 6-3 in favor of the White Sox. Boy, oh boy, Francisco Barrios, who was so outstanding today. Here's the pitch, a strike is called. Cruz leading it off again. 3rd time in this ball game that he's been the first man up. He started their 3-round rally last inning. There's a pitch fouled out of play. Just to show you how baseball goes, when Barrios left, he had retired. The second man up, he got his first out. The first man up, Cruz, got a scratch hit. Really should have been an easy play. Then Barrios got the next man, 1 on, 1 out. There's a line drive, foul. And he was taken out. They figured, I guess, that he had pitched enough. He made only 57 pitches. They brought in Wortham, and he probably had a lot of trouble. Walked 2 men, and another batter was safe on an error. Another man got a hit driving in 2 runs. Here's a fly ball to center, easy out. Cruz flying out to Lemon. But Proley had to come in with the tying runs on base and the go-ahead run at the plate, and the dangerous person of Bob Stinson, who has hit grand slam homers before against the White Sox. So that's how quickly a game can turn around. But fortunately, Proley got Stinson. 1 out. Here's Jim Anderson, the shortstop. There's a strike call. One strike and nothing. 1 out, nobody on. He had a cut. Proley going for a save, which would be his 2nd of the year. Foul ball back and out of play.
Today's attendance, 24,625.
24,625 paid here today. 1 out, nobody on. There's a little looper, and it's going to go foul. The honorary bat boy chases it down. We got 2 honorary bat boys. Anderson busted his bat on that foul ball. The bat boys today are David Owl and Danny Lang. Anderson carries a new bat up to the plate. One out, nobody on, 2 strikes and nothing to count. Justak and Sons Trucking Company here with a group. It's flashed up on the board. They're from Whiting, Indiana. A little pop foul down the first base line into the bullpen. The honorary bat boy almost caught it. We have an honorary bat boy in the right field corner, another one in the left field corner. There you see Jim Anderson. Nice looking young man. Used to be with the Angels. Ross Baumgarten going to be out for a couple of weeks, it looks like. Well, great play by Pryor. Crowley makes a great play to keep that ball from going up the alley into center field. Crowley, a great stop. Low line drive. Now watch his pickup with the glove. Nothing to it. Like plucking cherries. 2 out is Danny Meyer. 1 ball, no strikes. Up on the board, they welcome the Spezia restaurant employees, also from Whiting. There's the strike call. A ball and a strike. Yankees leading Texas 4-1. In the 7th. Cleveland over Boston 2-1 in the 8th. Toronto knocking off Oakland 6-0 in the 6th. The White Sox will take over first place today if they win this one. There's a long drive, right field. Baines back, might be out of here. It could be. It is. And now it's 6-4. Dan Meyer hits his 2nd home run of the year. Watch the replay. Looked like a slider belt high. Baines chased him, but no chance to make a play. 6-4 now. Hey, enough's enough.
That was Meyer's 52nd career home run for Seattle.
Here's a pitch swung on, bouncing ball to Pryor and short. He's got it. Throws to first for the out. 1 run, 1 hit, no error. And nobody left. We go down to the bottom of the 7th. The score, White Sox 6, Seattle 4. Hey! Are you ready, Nancy? Let me hear you, everybody. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Oh, it's root for the White Sox. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Hey! We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's Lamar Johnson to lead it off. He's had 2 doubles today, both down the third baseline. Birthday greetings to Sandy Swanson, 24 today. There's a high fly ball going to be caught. Roberts in right field has it. Here's Baines. Twice he was intentionally passed to fill the bases after he tripled his first time up. Little leaguer Andy Zipko from East Chicago celebrating his 8th birthday here today. John and Rose Krelak celebrating their 37th wedding anniversary here today. Harold Baines, the batter. Dave Roberts, veteran left-hander. Swings and he misses. Two strikes and nothing. Six to 4 in favor of the White Sox. Seattle's spotted Chicago a 6-0 lead. But boy, they moved back into contention now. They're only 2 runs behind with 2 innings to go. Right back to the pitcher. He's got it. Easy out. 2 up, 2 down. The White Sox fill the bases with nobody out in the 4th and scored 4 runs. They fill the bases again with nobody out in the 5th, but scored only 1 run. Veteran Dave Roberts fires, swung on and line foul. Roberts, with an earned run average of 6.14, this is only the 3rd game he's been in. 2 out, nobody up. Ed Farmer working in the bullpen now. Foul tapped. There you see Farmer. Everybody protecting him down there. Art Kushner, the bullpen coach. Ron Schuler, the pitching coach. Scott Rosenbaum. I think that's Scott down there. Let's get a picture. 2 strikes and a ball. That evens the count. Bob McNamara. Two pitch. There's a high fly ball right field. Roberts drifting back. 1, 2, 3 again. Nothing across. Roberts has retired 6 in a row. At the end of 7, Seattle trailing the White Sox. Chicago 6, Seattle 4. Harry Caray and Jimmy Piersall as we go to the top of the 8th, and the White Sox now go to their ace. Ed Farmer comes on, shooting for his 10th save of the year.
Trailed Suter by 1. Suter got his 10th last night. He leads baseball in saves.
You know, poor Mike Crowley can't get a break at anything.
He's got to keep a notebook on what kind of pitching he has done so far, because they aren't registering saves or wins for him, and he has been doing an outstanding job in between.
He came in and got the side out finally when it looked like Seattle, with one more long blow, could have made up a 6-run deficit. Mike Squires is now playing first base.
I hope so.
To bolster the White Sox defense. Here's Bruce Bhakti against Farmer. Bhakti had 2 out of 3. Swings a high foul ball into the left field corner. Texas just came up with 3 to tie up the Yankees. 4-4.
Boy, California's pecking away at Kansas City again. It's 5-3 now. Kansas City leads that game.
Toronto's murdering Oakland. 8-0 in the 7th. There's a pitch line in the center field they hit.
You know, I don't think Farmer warmed up too long. I'll tell you that right now.
So, Seattle keeps coming back. Here's Tom Paciorek. Runner at first, nobody out. Curve of beauty, a strike call. Boy, the Bhakti has a magic wand, doesn't he?
He swings, you know, he always swinging at bat. You're ever dangerous. Not trying to hit home runs, just make contact.
Double play, ball maybe. Out at second. No play at first. Ball wasn't hit quite hard enough. Paciorek forced Bhakti from Junior Moore to Morrison. That brings up Bill Stein, a dangerous right-hand hitter.
Boy, in that play, Harry, it was a one-handed swing and a good curveball. But as you said, Moore had to back up to get the hop, and that killed the chance of a double play. And I'm glad to see Morrison make sure of one.
1 out and 1 on. Better than 24,000 paid. White Sox with a chance to go into first place. There's Stein taking the curveball low.
Stein has been tough on us, I'll tell you that.
It's 2 out of 3 today. And hit the ball hard the last time. Fuller with a curveball. And that evens it up at a ball on a strike.
We've got 3 double plays. I'd like to see number 4 right here.
2 balls and a strike on the right-hand hitter.
Boy, look at the hole in center field. Whew.
Bill Stein digging in. Barely missed low and outside.
What was that pitch?
They had 28,000 in Cleveland. Spillner was the winner. Cleveland beat the Red Sox 3-1. Stanley the loser. 3 balls and a strike.
Now the swing of the bat could tie this game.
Fouled it out of play.
Boy, he did swing hard. That was a high ball he chased, a bad pitch.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Cubs got 3 in the first at San Diego. Detroit leading Baltimore 3-2 in the 8th. Minnesota holding its lead over Milwaukee 10-3 in the 7th. 3-2 pitch. Grab ball to the shortstop. No play at second. Throws to first. Pryor throws out Stein. And that will bring up Rodney Craig. He's nothing out of 2 in this game with a walk also. Made a sensational catch in center field.
And Nordhagen.
Off Wayne Nordhagen.
Save a run right here, big guy. This guy doesn't hit breaking stuff.
Here's Farmer getting ready. 6-4 in favor of the White Sox. Shooting with their 20th victory of the year. Curve low into the dirt, ball 1.
Babe up on top of the dugout trying to figure out how deep Baines is right now.
Farmer. Curveball in there, a beauty. Good overhanded curve.
Good curve. It's either got to be a change-up fastball or a breaking ball. This guy has trouble with that slow stuff. But boy, he's a fine-looking young athlete.
Rodney Craig. Boy, had a fool, and he fouls one into the Seattle dugout, and they all waved a flag of surrender.
See,
The foul.
He's a switch hitter now, but he was a right-handed hitter, so he hasn't switch hit that long, and he swings at anything.
2 strikes on the ball. Let's go get him yourself, big guy.
Yeah, right down and in.
That evens a count of 2-2.
Trying to make him chase a bad ball, which is a good way to set up that breaking ball.
Full count. Ooh, he had him fooled, but he ticked the ball foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He had a wicked cut, but he was way out in front.
Now, if he threw him a fastball on the inside part of the plate, he'd strike him out or jam him. He has flied out twice on balls on his fist.
Ed Farmer gets set. 6-4 White Sox. 2 out, a runner in scoring position. Rodney Craig, the hitter. Big pitch, watch it. Ball 3. And Stinson is coming up next. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He missed with his curveball.
What do you want to give him here, Coach? I'll give him a good hummer.
I bet you he gives him off-speed curve.
I'll give him a good hummer.
3-2 pitch, here it is. Off-speed curveball hit a mile. In the right center field. It's a 6-5 ball game. There goes Craig on his way to second with a double.
See, what it is with him, he is not a natural left-hand hitter, so sometimes if you get the breaking ball up, boy, he ripped it, and he had to get a strike over, so he threw it up. Here you'll see it. See how he got it up there? Boy, he ripped it.
They weren't playing him over there. They gave him that big gap.
He had to play him the other way. There's the run scoring. Easy double.
The tying run is in scoring position. And Bob Stinson was nothing out of 3 today, but always dangerous to the White Sox.
Well,
Stinson to be the batter.
Harry, an easy ball game with plenty of runners on base. Seemed like it's already gone down to 2 because of little bad problems with defense.
Now Farmer's ready. The pitch. Smashed up the middle of Pryor. He's got it. Throws in time to retire the side. 1 run. 2 hits. No errors. 1 left. We move into the bottom of the 8th. White Sox 6, Seattle 5. Harry Caray and Jimmy Piersall as we go to the bottom of the 8th. This veteran left-hander has stopped the White Sox cold.
You know what he's doing? He's just getting the ball over, and we're hitting it right up in the air or on the ground.
Junior Moore be leading it off here in the 8th.
Boy, we've got to get serious
I'd like
here.
to see Kevin Bell limbering up right now in that bullpen to take over defensively in the 9th.
Dressler started this ball game for Seattle. He went 3 innings, gave up 5 runs, 7 hits, walked 1, struck out 1. McLaughlin came in relief. 2 innings, 1 run, 2 hits, but he was in a lot of trouble. He walked 3, he struck out 2. And Roberts has been in there now for 2 innings.
Junior Moore facing the veteran Dave Roberts. Roberts has started with San Diego. Back in 69.
Look how many
36 years old.
How many years in the minors?
Junior swings and he misses. Guy's been pitching for the last 18 years. In the big leagues since 69. Off and on. Curveball low. Pitched for San Diego 3 years. Houston 4 years. The Tigers 2 years. The Cubs 2 years. Last year with the Giants and Pirates. Wide, ball 2.
He don't take much time. Give him the sign. He throws the ball. Let's go.
2 balls and a strike. Ground ball right back to the mound. Easy out.
That's the second time he's got a guy back to the mound. The only ball that's been hit well was the ball by Nordhagen, the first guy he faced in the 6th inning. Everybody else has hit nothing.
Here's Kim. He's nothing out of 2 today. White Sox have stopped hitting completely since the 5th inning. Now Dave Roberts' pitch. Here it is. Fastball a little low and outside. Roberts was traded by the Cubs along with third baseman Bill Madlock. No, by Pittsburgh. Let's see. He went to the Pirates along with Bill Madlock and Lenny Randall in a deal that the Giants made. All they got out of it is Eddie Whitson. 1 ball, 1 strike. Beauty in there. Minnesota leading Milwaukee 10-4 in the 8th. Ground ball to short. That ought to be easy. Anderson's throw in time.
Boy, what a good throw.
2 up, 2 down. 8 in a row retired by Roberts. Murphy homered for Oakland. That's their only run against Toronto.
Well, we sent 7 hitters up to the plate in the 5th inning and got 1 run. That really hurt.
Had the bases loaded, nobody out. Had the bases loaded, 1 out. The only way we got the run was on another base on ball that forced it in. 1 strike and nothing. A little tap foul. 2 strikes and nothing. They'll have the top of their batting order in the 9th, starting with Little Cruz. That'll be a pivotal man in the inning because if he gets on, he can steal. So you want to keep him off base. 2 strikes and nothing. Time is called. Roberts started to deliver and then changed his mind. Broke his rhythm, as it were. 2 strikes and nothing. Line drive to Stein. He's going to have to throw to first. He almost beat it out. Stein thought he had caught the ball in the air. He had actually trapped it. 1, 2, 3. 9 in a row retired.
Let's see this. He said he caught it, but he didn't. The umpire at third. Now watch.
Umpire ruled he was trapped.
Yeah.
So he had to throw it. All right, nothing across at the end of 8. The White Sox 6, Seattle 5. Harry Caray back in the ballpark. We're going to the top of the 9th. My good friend Abby Anderson, former potentate of Medina, very active in the Shriner work. We regret he's not with us tonight is because of the illness of his wife, but he's being well represented here by the other members of Medina, along with Jack Gaughan of Portable Tools. Bouncing ball, tough play, Pryor, hurry. 1 out. Cruz is retired. 1 away. This is Barrios' game to win. Farmers to save. And Dressler's to lose. The way it stands right now. Here's Anderson. The curveball in there is strike call. This is Farmer's 15th game, going for his 13th decision. Two strikes and nothing. White Sox are ahead 1-0, 5-0, 6-0, and had the bases loaded with nobody out. Now they were ahead 6-3, 6-4, 6-5. That's what it is now with 1 out here in the 9th. 2 strikes and the ball. Barely missed. He wanted that one. Danny Myers, who homered in the 7th, will be next. 2-2 pitch. Whoa, 3, barely missed. Three balls, 2 strikes. Farmer walking around. Talks to himself in these kind of situations. Sparky Lyle is relieved as against his old teammates and has held them scoreless. Bouncing ball to Junior Moore. There's a peg. In time to Squire. 2 up, 2 down. One more and the old ball game is over. But look at this one man. He's hitting .321. He hit a homer in the 7th. A good left-handed batter. 2 out, nobody on. Fastball a little low, ball 1. Baltimore's taken a 4-3 lead over Detroit in the 8th. Tapped it foul. The count is even. A ball and a strike. The game is over. A line drive to Skyler. The Sox win. Meyer hit a line drive right at Squire, who stabbed the ball. And there you see the picture of jubilation. The ecstasy of victory. Tony La Russa's arm still in a sling. Bobby Winkle. Ed Farmer has picked up his 10th save. He leads the American League. Tied for the Major League lead with Bruce Sutter of the Cubs, who also has 10. The final score, the White Sox have beaten Seattle 6-5, winning the series 2 out of 3. It was a tough fight, Ma, but the good guys won it. We'll be back with the official totals and highlights in a moment. Harry Caray back at Comiskey Park, where the Chicago White Sox have just completed a 6-5 victory. This one started out like a no-brainer, but it became a barn burner as Seattle fought back. But Ed Farmer picked up his 10th save of the year, and the White Sox prevail and will be in first place tonight. Oakland's losing 8-1 in the 8th inning of Toronto, so every indication is they're going to lose that game, which will place the Chicago White Sox on top of the heap in the American League West this evening. Here are the totals: 6 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for Chicago. Francisco Barrios, his first decision since last July the 8th, and he pitched brilliantly. He allowed only 6 hits, 1 run in the 5 1/3 innings he was permitted to pitch. And then the relief came on, and that's when the thing got a little hairy. But finally, Ed Farmer put an end to it all. 6 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the White Sox. Barrios, the winner. He's now 1-0. For the save for Ed Farmer is 10th of the year. In 15 appearances now, he's had a hand in 13 victories. 10 saves and 3 wins. He hasn't been in a defeat yet. For Seattle, 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors. The losers, Rob Dressler, his record now, he's 1-0 and lost 3. Tomorrow night, the Minnesota Twins will be here. We'll be with you at 7:15. It looks like at long last the weather is turning for us, so why don't you try to be out here in person tomorrow night? Don't go away now. Jimmy will have his post-game guest, be the former fine catcher of the Detroit Tigers, now doing television work in Seattle, Bill Freehand. I know you'll enjoy hearing from him. This is Harry Caray wishing you all a very pleasant good afternoon from Comiskey Park, where more than 24,000 saw the White Sox win the final rubber game of the series by the score of 6-5 to move into first place in the American League West. See you tomorrow night at 7:15. So long, everybody.
The White Sox have been brought to you by the following participating advertisers. Schlitz, the one beer brewed for men who've tasted gusto and know there'll never be a better beer than Schlitz. Go for it. Chevrolet and your local Chevy dealers inviting you to come in and test drive the 1980 Chevrolet that's right for you. Yes, Chevy's got it. Just come and get it. True Value Hardware Store. Presentation.
This game is copyrighted by the Chicago White Sox.
Danley's Garage.
It's time for the Baseball Report Show featuring Jimmy Piersall. Baseball Report is brought to you by your greater Chicago area Toyota dealers and by the 12,000 people of National Car Rental's Big Green Team.
Hi, everybody. Jimmy Piersall back at Comiskey Park, where the White Sox won a squeaker 6-5. Boy, we jump out in front 6-0. Look like we're going to have a laugh, and all of a sudden, we're in a battle. My guest this afternoon is Bill Freehan, a former catcher for the Detroit Tigers and a great one. And Bill is now announcing for this Seattle ball club. Bill, kind of a ball game that you just can't sit still too long because things are happening every moment.
That's very true. Unfortunately, the Mariners have not been hitting the ball well. We're about 20 or 25 points down on team batting average from last year. But in any ball game, Lord, you get ahead like you guys were, 6-0, and all of a sudden we came back and there were some fine defensive plays. Proley made a good play, and a couple other ones that really saved the game for the White Sox.
I think, too, that your pitching is a little bit suspect compared to ours, but yet a guy like Darren Johnson seems to know what his pitchers can do, and he doesn't let them go too long and gets them out of there in a hurry, doesn't he?
Well, the starters have done quite well. Rick Honeycutt, Floyd Bannister, Jim Beattie, who some of whom you've seen here, have been doing a fine job. His middle relief guys have been a little shaky this year. Some of the right-handed relievers have done a pretty good job, but really it's not the pitching staff that's been causing the Mariners some problems. It's really been the lack of hitting right now. Primarily Willie Horton, who's off to a real poor start.
I kind of like your center fielder. The young man looks like he's got a lot of potential. What a great catch he made off of Nordhagen to save at least a triple. This young man seems to be coming along every day.
Rodney Craig is really playing center field, Jim, on the basis that Juan Beniquez, who had injured himself, separated his shoulder in spring training, was due to be the center fielder. We had traded with the Yankees, traded Rupert Jones, who was our regular center fielder last year, to the Yankees. And in return, we got Jim Beattie, we got Jerry Nairn, a catcher, and Juan Beniquez. Juan was having a great spring, hurt himself, and he's due to come back probably around the 1st of June, if and when there's not a strike. But Rodney Craig's a comer. He's hit well wherever he's gone. He's got some power. He's a switch hitter and got some real good speed, and he's a fine young man. He started off a little slow, having trouble with the breaking ball, like a lot of rookies do. But
is he a right-handed hitter naturally and a left-handed hitter he's been starting to learn? Because I noticed that he hits anything, swings at anything left-handed.
He was sort of just fishing for the ball left-handed. Yeah. He's naturally a right-handed hitter, but you look at the statistics, and right-handed, he's having more trouble statistically right now than he is left-handed. But he's got a wealth of talent, a lot of skills. He's a young man, and I think he's going to be really the first player that the Mariners have signed and developed within their own system. I expect big things from that young man.
We'll be right back with Bill Freehan right after this message. Jimmy Piersall back at Comiskey Park, where the White Sox won at 6-5 this afternoon. My guest is Bill Freehan, former catcher with the Detroit Tigers. Taking the Detroit ball club, Sparky Anderson having a lot of problems. You live there, and what seems to be the problem?
They got off to a real poor start. They've been hitting the ball very well. Their pitching staff was suspect coming into the season. A new center fielder by the name of Kirk Gibson, just with a lot of power, a lot of speed. They've got some problems, but I would say primarily pitching staff-wise, they've tried to solve those things with young arms, self-developed, internally developed pitchers, and they have not participated in the free agent draft at all.
You know what? Well, I wonder about that town. I know they can be very tough on a manager or a player. Have they started to get on Sparky yet?
Well, they had a West Coast swing in the last 10 days, and a couple guys had murmured and had been unquoted or quoted but unnamed in the newspapers. You know how those things go, Jim. And
great writers write like that, you
well,
know.
Sparky took exception, and a couple guys have hit the road. Jack Billingham, although it was an insinuation he might have said something, he's now been traded for nobody really to the Boston Red Sox. Things will happen. Sparky's going to be the leader. He's a marketing guy. He may be the best marketing manager and also the best technical guy that's been around in Detroit for a while, and he's going to do it his way, that's for sure.
Oh, certainly. I know he's that guy. Catchers throughout your career, you see what goes on in baseball today. Is there any way that you change some of the ways of calling a ball game if you were handling some of these young pitchers? I think sometimes when you sit around, I know as an outfielder, I watch outfielders, things go through my mind. Would you do some things different? Not naming any catcher in particular.
Well, unfortunately, I see a lot of young catchers coming in with gloves that look like first baseman's gloves, and then so often I think Johnny Bench maybe started the trend a couple years ago. with a one-handed catcher routine. And I think from a handling standpoint, just the mechanics of doing it, you don't see guys move their bodies and shift their bodies like they should. Bruce Kim, I think, well, I've known Bruce because he was a catcher in our organization for a while. He's a good mechanical defensive catcher, but the young catchers don't seem to really work at the hard line mechanics of getting their bodies in front of the balls. And I think sometimes the glove and the way they break it in, instead of the old two-handed catcher that used his hands as a unit, you see the guys backhanding balls, and there's too many pass balls.
There certainly is, and a lot of times they're giving them wild pitches today.
Well, that's true. We had a little wild pitch here that Bobby Stinson let the ball go right between his legs. And I know Bobby's a fine, old line defensive catcher, and he's probably kicking himself in there that ball got between his legs.
He's not catching every day. Bill Freehan, thank you very much for being our guest. Ladies and gentlemen, the White Sox won it 6-5. Farmer got the save. Barrios did a whale of a job. He got the win. And we'll play tomorrow night against Minnesota. It'll be a 7:15 Harry Caray's On Deck show. The game starts at 7:30. I'm Jimmy Piersall saying thanks for watching.